In a blink of an eye, the time came a few days later. Konaha, Hokage Building. Here, the Jonin meeting was officially held. Only the elite ninjas who have truly obtained the title of Konaha Jonin can participate in the meeting. The real Jonin is not a ninja like Jonin who makes up the number. Even Konaha is a real top power. Each one is Konaha's most valuable strategic force. All Jonin gathered in the Hokage office to prepare for the pre-war deployment of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi Village. At the same time, Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi Village, for Konaha, although there is no need to panic. But it is by no means easy. Unlike Sunagakure, the shadows in these two villages are not missing. 3rd Tsuchikage Onoki and 3rd Raikage are the top powerhouses in the ninja world. Not to mention, these two villages also have two tail beasts. Especially Cloud Shinobi's Jinchuriki, it was a big trouble. Jinchuriki is able to maintain his sanity and perfectly control the power of the tail beast. It's not a concept with the runaway Jinchuriki. It is a real war weapon. Therefore, this time Konaha, except for the Hyuga and Uchiha clan, all the major families have been sent to the battlefield. As for the Hyuga and Uchiha clan, they have been dispatched by Sarutobi Hiruzen to the border between the fire country and the water country. Watch out for Kirigakure's actions. Konaha did not hold such a high-level meeting even during the war against Sunagakure. At this time, in the Hokage office, Konaha Jonin gathered here. You stand over there and squeeze me. Yu pushed Jiraiya and said dissatisfied. Jiraiya looked at Yu with dissatisfaction and black lines on his face. As one of the Sannin, a disciple of 3rd Hokage, he is also Konaha's top powerhouse. Jiraiya naturally stood at the forefront of the Jonin. This is a symbol of status and strength. But you brat, it's an exception to be able to come to the Jonin meeting as Genin. Isn't it a bit too much to even grab your place? Is that Chimu Yu? Sure enough, even Master Jiraiya is afraid of him. What an amazing genius, I beat San Shinobi like that alone. Some of the Jonin present have seen Yu, but most of them are the first time. For Konaha's newly promoted super genius, no, it is a bit inappropriate to say that it is a genius. Yu's strength can already be said to be Konaha's superpower. One person killed the entire Sunagakure. This kind of strength has exceeded their imagination. Jonin was very curious about this superpower of Konaha. Seeing Yu actually bullying Lord Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin, I suddenly felt that Yu was unusual. As expected of their super genius Konaha, even Master Jiraiya is afraid of him. Jiraiya listened to Jonin's comments, her face turned green. Is he afraid of Yu? Can things between the same door be called fear? Jiraiya looked at Yu and Tsunade who was helping Yu, and the corners of his mouth twitched and he took a step back. This is not to be afraid, it is from the heart. Jiraiya looked at Yu who was standing in his place, tears streaming down his face. Teacher, don't be too sad. I am often bullied by Yu. Minato looked at Jiraiya, who was standing next to him, and said comfortingly. What is being bullied? I'm giving it to this brat. Jiraiya is not happy anymore. As one of the legendary Sannin, Toad Sage of Mount Myoboku, Lord Jiraiya. How can you be bullied? Never admit it. Minato looked at Jiraiya with a hard-mouthed amusement. His teacher is really like a little kid. Master Naruto is here. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen walked in from the door and sat in Hokage's position. Looking at the Jonin in front of him, Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes are full of pride. This is their Konaha. With so many Jonin, which shinobu has such strong strength? Since the First Ninja World War, Konaha has always been a pair of large hidden villages, and every time, it is Konaha's victory. This time, it will never be an exception, but when he saw Yu in the front, Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth twitched. Yu, why are you standing in this position? Didn't you let you go to the back to listen in? The black line on Sarutobi Hiruzen's face. Is this where you can stand? This is the Jonin meeting. Although Yu is strong, he is still Genin after all. But considering Yu's strength, and Yu's upcoming key role in the war. In addition, this stinky boy is not big-hearted. What if this stinky boy has a grudge, and quits? So Sarutobi Hiruzen also asked Yu to participate in this meeting. It's just that you have to consider the impact after all. Yu, after all, is not Jonin. Let alone Jonin, this kid is not even Chunin. So Sarutobi Hiruzen had already talked to Yu in advance, and just be an observer later. As a result, Yu, a brat, stood in the forefront of the Jonin. It seems that he is the leader of Jonin. Look at Jiraiya, who is aggrieved, standing next to Minato. Where does Sarutobi Hiruzen still don't understand? This is the position this brat grabbed. Huh. Did you say that? Yu said with a surprised face. Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth twitched because of Yu's insincere expression of, this brat, I don't even bother to pretend. Now start the Jonin meeting. Sarutobi Hiruzen cleared his throat and raised his voice. After all, it is the highest level meeting of Konoha Shinobi. As Naruto, Sarutobi Hiruzen can't get entangled with Yu for too long. This brat wants to stand, so stand. Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little helpless. When you meet Yu, he really has no tricks. It's pretty much the same, Yu murmured. Let yourself stand in the corner. How is that possible? Of course you must stand in the most beautiful position. Next, start the pre-war deployment. Sarutobi Hiruzen raised his voice. All Jonin's expressions were solemn. The real battle is about to begin. Konaha, Hokage office. Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen is doing pre-war mobilization. In this war, all of us Konoha will. Sarutobi Hiruzen's saliva fluttered, his face flushed. The old man started again. Jiraiya was holding his forehead with a look of helplessness. The old man is good everywhere, but this problem of love to speak can't be corrected. I have followed Sarutobi Hiruzen's Jiraiya since I was a child, and I don't know how many times he has been brainwashed. In previous wars, the old man had to come here before every expedition. The statement on the surface is to encourage Konoha, who is about to go on the expedition. But Jiraiya seriously suspects that this is simply an excuse. Obviously the old man wants to have a mouth addiction. But Jiraiya didn't dare to refute the old man, otherwise it would be inevitable to beat him up. However, he didn't dare. Someone would dare. Someone does this kind of thing not once or twice. Why hasn't it started yet? Jiraiya thought expectantly. Yawn. When Jiraiya couldn't stand it, a loud dozing sound made him feel nervous. Coming. Yu. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was talking excitedly, spoke, and looked a little annoyed at Yu, who would attract all the eyes of the audience. This stinky boy is too shameless to himself. Didn't you just talk for half an hour? As for sleepiness? The battle with Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi Village is such a big thing, of course, it must be explained clearly. And this brat, a yawn drew the audience's attention away, damn it. You cheer me up, what we have to face, but Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi Village are two powerful enemies, how can you look like you have no energy? Sarutobi Hiruzen finally caught an opportunity, but when he was willing to let it go, he started to learn a lesson with a grimace. That's cool. After Sarutobi Hiruzen finished speaking, he felt comfortable all over, and finally said Yu, not easy. Thinking of the bitter history of facing Yu, Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little bit cautious. His dignified Konoha's third Hokage was unexpectedly pinched by Yu. Yu, where are you going? Suddenly, Sarutobi Hiruzen found out that something was wrong. Yu didn't pay attention to him, so he turned his head and left. In a bad mood, I went home to drink and sleep. Yu waved his hand and yawned. Sarutobi Hiruzen was suddenly shocked. Yu, this is the rhythm that you want to quit. If it's someone else, Sarutobi Hiruzen won't take it seriously. But Yu, this stinky kid, will really quit. If this allows Yu to run away, the frontline strength will be seriously insufficient. Sarutobi Hiruzen gave Tsunade a wink quickly, but he couldn't let this stinky kid quit. As a result, Yu didn't come back no matter how tugged Tsunade, but Yu didn't leave completely either. He stood at the door of the office, holding the handle in his hand. Sarutobi Hiruzen saw Tsunade and Yu acting together, and the corners of his mouth twitched. Why didn't he understand that this stinky boy was waiting for his own expression? This stinky boy can't eat any loss. Sarutobi Hiruzen cursed secretly and quickly said two good things, and Yu followed Tsunade back to the forefront of the team. The Jonin saw nothing here. Genius, he is still Konoha's most talented person in history. Are some personalities not normal? The Uchiha group of people are not as genius as Yu, but it turns out that Tenten's nostrils are looking at people. Compared to the people of the Uchiha clan, what is this little thing? If they have the same talent as Yu, they might be more arrogant than Yu. And Yu's age makes everyone very tolerant. It's just a little temper, but people can cut Tsunagakure down by himself. If you are not convinced, go and kill Tsunagakure alone. The main thing is that they can't stand Sarutobi Hiruzen's tirades anymore. Hey, the status is worrying. Located in front of the Jonin, Yuri Zhenhong looked at Yu and sighed silently. Daughter Yuhi Kurenai is completely sinking in now. Although Yu is an incomparable genius, but Yuri Zhenhong is also Konaha's elite Jonin. Originally, I was thinking of giving my daughter the hardest backing, but the genius of this kid surpassed my imagination. In terms of strength, 10 of them might be tied together by themselves, none of which was played by Yu. With such a strong prospective son-in-law, Yuri Zhenhong feels a little complicated. The position of his father-in-law in the future is worrying. Old man, hurry up and dispatch, isn't it just Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi Village? I'll cut them all for you. Yu looked at what Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to say, and interrupted quickly. Finally interrupted the old man, and let him talk about it, he really was going to collapse. Alright. Then start the specific deployment. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face is dark, and he just likes such a hobby. This stinky boy is not satisfied with himself. And the other Jonins were also a little speechless at this time. Listen. What Hoki's words? Cloud Shinobi Village and Iwagakure, nothing more. In Yu's mouth, it's just dough, you can knead it any way you want. Some bad-tempered Jonin had the intention to retort, but at the thought of this, he cut down Sanagakure on his own. I want to refute, but I don't know how to say it. And Jiraiya-sama, who didn't watch one of the Sanins, were all caught by Yu. Will Naruto-sama coax Yu? They are in their early days, isn't that the same as giving away food? Purely for nothing. Jiraiya, you and Minato will go to the Cloud Shinobi battlefield to meet with Orochimaru. Beware of Cloud Shinobi's actions. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked down and ordered, leave it to me. When Jiraiya heard that she was walking with her own disciple, not with Yu, tears of joy came down. He didn't dare to take Yu to the battlefield anymore. Although Yu is powerful, he may even be stronger than himself. But it is too much trouble. In the war with Sand Shinobi, he almost failed to toss his frontline commander to death. I planned to fight a war for several years, but because of Yu, I was ready to start a decisive battle on the first day. Let's play against Cloud Shinobi. Isn't it third Raikage and 2 perfect Jinchuriki? Compared to Yu, this is nothing. Jiraiya's mouth twitched when he thought of this. It seems, there is a problem, Cloud Shinobi's power is a bit strong. But if Orochimaru is there, let him deal with troubles. Tsunade, you and Yu go to the Rock Shinobi battlefield, and you are solely responsible for the battle against Rock Shinobi. Sarutobi Hiruzen continued. Sarutobi Hiruzen already knows the news that Tsunade's phobia is healed. This is a great thing for Konaha, who is about to face the 2 hidden villages. This means that Tsunade can also go on its own and exert real strength on the battlefield. And considering Yu's character, Sarutobi Hiruzen is more at ease only if Tsunade takes Yu. At least he can't let this stinky kid run around the battlefield, his heart can't stand it. He didn't want to be studying how to win this war with the least loss when Yu had already gone to the door of Cloud Shinobi Village. That will happen. Then the battlefield deployment is like that, everyone has no problems, right? Next, Sarutobi Hiruzen arranged for all Jonin again and concluded. All Jonin including Jiraiya and Tsunade shook their heads. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen asked this, it was just a formality. After all, the battlefield deployment, but the Konaha think tank, that is, the elders, made the decision. They just need to comply. I have a question. Just after Sarutobi Hiruzen arranged the battlefield deployment and planned to end the Jonin meeting, Yu interrupted. Yu. What's the matter? Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Yu, and the corners of his mouth twitched. I just said that, you really have a problem? However, Sarutobi Hiruzen said Yu was a key force in Konaha's battle against Iwagakure, and I have to bear it. He also counts on Yu to deal with Iwagakure's 3rd Tsuchikage Onoki. That's a hard stubbornness, even he himself is not sure of winning. Konaha is currently one-on-one, and only he and Yu can compete with Onoki. Since Yu has a problem, let him ask. Just make Yu happy, Onogi, nothing more. Sarutobi Hiruzen is a little bit silly, why is he swollen like Yu? With a dry cough, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Yu, wanting to hear what's wrong with Yu. Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi, which village of ninjas have harder bones? Yu asked seriously. What? Sarutobi Hiruzen looked confused, suspecting that he had heard it wrong. I said, Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi are 2 villages, which village has a stronger ninja? Yu said again, looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen with some suspicion. The meaning is obvious. You don't really have kidney deficiency, do you? Why can't you understand? They are hard bones. What does this have to do with you? Sarutobi Hiruzen finally confirmed that he had heard it right this time, and said in a crumbled voice. What is this stinky guy thinking all over his head? The body is hard and it's easier to cut, Yu said seriously. He decided to pay attention this time, and he must get a lot of physique points. It's a shame that Tsunade turned his back on the guest last time. After the war is over, he must let Tsunade know what power is. There was silence. All Jonin were a little confused at this time. Listen, the idea of genius is to be different. To cut people, you must choose a bone-hardened one. Tsunade looked at Yu who kept winking at him, and his red lips twitched. Yu wants to chop off hard-bodied people, wouldn't it be because of yourself? Tsunade thought uncertainly. Could it be that he made Yu upset that night? Did Yu feel resentment for people with stronger physical strength? Naturally, Tsunade would not have thought that Yu could gain attribute points after slashing people after drinking. But thinking about it with some suspicion. Thinking, the scene of that night appeared in Tsunade's mind again, and Tsunade's pretty face suddenly turned red. Rock Shinobi, Iwagakure's ninja, a bit harder, right? Sarutobi Hiruzen stammered when looking at Yu not joking. What else can he say? Could it be that Cloud Shinobis are all muscular men? Then let Yu disrupt Konaha's strategic deployment for this nonsense reason? Really? You didn't lie to me. Yu said with some suspicion, according to the impression of his previous life. The ninjas of Iwagakure are bigger, but people from Cloud Shinobi village have more muscles, right? Yu is also a little uncertain as to which village to cut down. People can get more physical attribute points. Of course, don't you look at the people in Cloud Shinobi village who seem to be very powerful. In fact, they all use the Thunder attribute chakra's secret method to urge them. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't care, and talked freely. Jiraiya heard the black line on his face. If he hadn't played against the guys from Cloud Shinobi village, he would really believe it. Although the people of Cloud Shinobi village do use the Thunder attribute chakra to stimulate their muscles, but that is to get a short burst. What does it have to do with that muscle? In fact, the guys in Cloud Shinobi village are not only full of muscles, but also their brains. I'm full of fighting with people. Jiraiya, really? When Yu heard Sarutobi Hiruzen say this, he suddenly became suspicious. He has read some novels in his previous life. Lord Kakuzu likes to use the Thunder and Lightning attribute chakra to cultivate his physique. Sarutobi Hiruzen said so. Yu suddenly believed half of it. But still confirmed with Jiraiya. Of course it is true. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen's threatening eyes, Jiraiya's mouth twitched, and said with conscience. In fact, the guys from Iwagakure are the ones who use Earth style. Although he looks big, in reality, most of them are fat. After all, if you don't have fat, how can you resist the recoil caused by using Earth style to fight the enemy? The restoring power of fat is much faster than that of muscle. If you lie to me, wait for me. Yu was skeptical and threatened. Jiraiya's mouth twitched. Now, don't really trouble yourself when the time comes. Then I'm fine, I'm going to the Rock Shinobi battlefield. A gleam of excitement flashed in Yu's eyes. When he finishes cutting off the big guys of Rock Shinobi, isn't it just to hang Tsunade? At that time, you have to let you know how great it is. Yu looked at Tsunade provocatively, and Tsunade's red lips twitched. She always has a bad feeling. But Tsunade didn't plan to tell Yu the truth, or else Yu actually went to the Cloud Shinobi battlefield. What should I do? Yu, it's better to follow yourself. Tsunade thought silently. Look at what the bastard Jiraiya did, and lost Yu on the first day. If it weren't for Yu's strength, it would be hard to say what the result would be. Tsunade glared at Jiraiya, making him smile again and again. Who did he provoke? One of the dignified, Sanin, Toad Sage of Mount Myoboku, Lord Jiraiya. How come you have become the most humble one? Anyone can bully him. Huh. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Yu who was no longer delving into it, and breathed a sigh of relief. As for Jiraiya who lay down in tears. If you shed tears, shed tears. Sacrifice Jiraiya in exchange for Yu's peace, which is also worth it. However, Yu, this stinky boy, won't you come to trouble yourself then? After waiting for Jonin to leave, Sarutobi Hiruzen sat in Hokage's position, his mouth twitched. It doesn't matter to him. When the time comes, he will say that he doesn't know. The ghost knows how the guys in Iwagakure are so big, Moreover, Rock Shinobi, which uses Earth style to strengthen the skin, is indeed harder than Cloud Shinobi. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought sullyly. Konaha village, the entrance of the village. Hurry up. Load all these boxes. A team of Konaha Shinobi players moved one big box after another to the transport truck. Be careful. This is what Uyu-sama specially explained, and it's the most important strategic resource. A Konaha Jonin looked at the Konaha Shinobi who were carrying the boxes and shouted loudly. Master Uyu? Is it the super genius who killed Sanagakure alone? Is Uyu-sama going to the front too? That's great. There were some Konaha Shinobi who had been carrying the boxes indifferently, and they were suddenly shocked. Uyu, although still genin, after these days, Sarutobi Hiruzen's intentional publicity. Uyu has become a hero of Konaha. And on the battlefield, whatever genin Jonin's matter is, everything is speaking of strength. There was such a strong man who followed them to the Rock Shinobi battlefield, and all the Konaha Shinobi were shocked. Be careful, be careful. The Konaha Shinobi who carried the boxes were immediately extremely careful, for fear of knocking these boxes where. Such a genius, the strategic material mentioned, must be an extremely important thing. Maybe, when will they be able to save their lives? Be careful. Sarutobi Hiruzen saw Konaha Shinobi who were carrying boxes like treasures in the distance. Looking at Uyu beside him, his face was a little stiff. Others don't know, he still doesn't know what is in those boxes. That's Uyu's departure fee. Good wine moved from Konaha's warehouse. Also strategic resources, this stinky kid really knows a name. What's wrong? I can be stronger after drinking. What's wrong with me saying it is a strategic resource? Uyu looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen and said of course. After drinking, his strength can jump up, and he can strengthen his strength even if he slashes people. Say it is a strategic resource, is there a problem? No, no problem. The corners of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth twitched, and he couldn't find it to refute Uyu's words. He looked at Uyu with a weird look. Although it had been confirmed for a long time, Sarutobi Hiruzen still didn't understand. Uyu, drinking ability can become stronger. Sage of Six Paths doesn't have this skill, right? Is it a special blood inheritance boundary? But Chimu Yorin, that is his direct line. Sarutobi Hiruzen is quite certain that Chimu Yorin is a civilian ninja, and there is no blood limit in the count. Is it upgraded? Old man, what are you looking at? Uyu was uncomfortable being seen by Sarutobi Hiruzen, and turned brightly towards Sarutobi Hiruzen. Smelly boy. Sarutobi Hiruzen turned white. Uyu gave Uyu a look. This stinky boy came to threaten himself. Tsunade, you must be optimistic about Uyu, don't let him run around anymore. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the disciple beside him, and said earnestly. He is really scared. What if Uyu runs around again and makes a big movement? This time is different from the last time. Last time, although Cloud Shinobi also declared war on Konaha, it was more of a wait-and-see attitude. Rock Shinobi has to guard against Cloud Shinobi, and Onoki prefers to reap the benefits of the fishermen. Although the border is not peaceful, small frictions continue. However, Sanagakure is the only one that really fought against Konaha on a large scale. But this time, Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village have completely joined the battle group. If Uyu gets to the door of the two villages again, it will be a big trouble. Especially Cloud Shinobi village, those guys have muscles in their brains. Maybe it's just a brain twitch, really betting on everything in the village, and desperately working with you. Konaha didn't want to see that scene. Konaha's most hoped result is to end this war at the least cost. Instead of struggling with Iwagakure, Cloud Shinobi village. That kind of loss would be extremely huge, don't worry. Tsunade promised. Well, there is also the Naruto team, which has also been sent to you. Naruto's mind can play a big role in the war. Sarutobi Hiruzen was assured and nodded. Although Tsunade is a good bet, it is still very reliable. At least, it's more reliable than Jiraiya. Blindly worry, you just see how I chopped Rock Shinobi's bastards. Uyu looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen dissatisfied. This is not self-confidence in yourself. I believe in you, Uyu. My heart is really bad, just listen to Tsunade. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Uyu and said with a wry smile. It's pretty much the same. Uyu nodded and looked at Kakashi on the side. Why did you give me this fellow? Uyu looked disgusted. Kakashi looked at Uyu's disgusting eyes, and the corners of his mouth twitched. Too much deception. Kakashi is also Konoha's super genius. One of the geniuses. Why is it so disgusted? Diaresis Kakashi's words, lightning style is more suitable to play in the rock shinobi battlefield, and he also uses a knife. You can let him learn from you. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. Kakashi, after all, is Hitaki's only son. It can be said that it is the direct line of the first line of Naruto. It still needs to be cultivated. Learn knives from me? Yu Yu looked up and down at Kakashi, who was uncomfortable looking at Kakashi. No problem, Kakashi, I will leave the game to you. It will test your skill with a knife. Yu Yu patted Kakashi on the shoulder and said seriously. Although the level of Kakashi's game is far from that of Namikaze Minato, it can barely be used. Kakashi wants to cry without tears. He has Hitaki swordsmanship, and Yu Yu's swordsmanship is not the same way at all. What's more, it is obviously excuse that playing game can practice swordsmanship. You just want me to give you game. Hope everything goes well. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the Konoha troops going away and thought to himself in silence. But after Yu left, she was still a little lonely. Sarutobi Hiruzen smashed his mouth. He is used to quarreling with Yu, and when Yu is away, he is really reluctant. It feels empty. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was somewhat empty, returned home and saw his son, Asuma, who had nothing to do with him, and suddenly became furious. You're a dumb thing. I won't give you lousy. I'll be angry. Look at you, Yu. Bang rape. Sarutobi Lake Biwa, with a twitching corner of his mouth, looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen who was beating Asuma. Chim Yu and Asuma, who is your son anyway? How do you feel? The old guy prefers Chimu Yu. After several days of trekking, the Konoha reinforcements led by Tsunade and Yu finally arrived near Konoha's frontline camp against Iwagakure. Finally, it's finally here. Kakashi watched the outline of Konoha frontier Daying appearing ahead, tears almost came out. In the past few days, Kakashi can be said to have lived like a year. Every time I get a meal, I need to catch game for Yu. The famous name is to exercise one's own swordsmanship. You have to use fire style to cook for Yu. That's fine. One night, Yu was happily drinking and suddenly wanted to take a bath. You have to use fire style to boil water for Yu yourself. This is a full 2 hours. Chakras of the Hitaki clan are scarce at first, and almost didn't suck up Kakashi. Then the next day, Kakashi, who was languishing, continued to follow the army on his way. Such days are finally over. Kakashi, why is this expression? Cheer up. How do you face the bastards of Iwagakure like this? After all, I followed me to learn swordsmanship for a few days. When I get to the battlefield, you have to chop a few more rock shinobi for me. Yu patted Kakashi's shoulder fiercely, looking angrily. Kakashi, who was a little languid, was staggered by Yu, looking at Yu with a black line on his face. Kakashi opened his mouth, but didn't know what to say. Are you sure? How many days did you learn swordsmanship with you? Isn't it just letting yourself eat game for you? When playing game, don't hurt the viscera of those game, they are all good things. Is it also called teaching? Forget it. Looking at your performance these days, I will tell you some of my swordsmanship mysteries. Yu shuddered while looking at Kakashi's very resentful expression, and said. Really? Kakashi's languid spirit was shocked. Although Kakashi has the inheritance of Hitaki's sword art. But Yu can already be called a master of swordsmanship. One person killed the entire Sunagakure. This is a terrible achievement that his father, Konoha's White Fang, hasn't accomplished. Although Hitaki's swordsmanship and Yu's swordsmanship are not the same way. But on how to use a knife, there must be something in common. Since Yu's reputation has gained popularity, Konoha doesn't know how many swordsmanship families, and hopes Yu can give some pointers to their descendants. But Yu, a character who doesn't even give the face of third Hokage, how can he teach that group of people? If you can learn some of the mysteries of Yu's swordsmanship. Kakashi was shocked. Actually, the reason why my swordsmanship is so powerful. Yu spoke slowly. Kakashi's eyes lit up suddenly. Even Tsunade listened carefully, a little curious. Yu's training history is actually very mysterious. No one knows how Yu cultivated and was able to be so strong at this age. According to the old man, I have never seen Yu practice. Just drinking, sleeping, hacking people, and then it's so powerful. Coupled with the long time spent with Yu, I don't say I get along with Yu day and night, but I see each other every day. Yu either pulls himself to drink, or drinks himself. Tsunade has never seen Yu practice before. So Tsunade is also curiously tight at the moment. The surrounding Jonin also held their breath at this time, wishing to pull their ears wide. This is Chimu Uyu. Since Konaha established the village, he is recognized as the greatest genius in history. Who doesn't want to know the mystery of the cultivation of such a genius? Even if they don't use knives, they can go back and educate their offspring. It is not realistic to say that you learn all of them, but even if you learn a few tenths, you will become a great person. As long as you drink more, and then cut more people, you can exercise extremely powerful swordsmanship. Yu said earnestly. He didn't lie to Kakashi, he who has the Dionysus system, that's how he practiced. What? Kakashi was dumbfounded, then the corners of his mouth twitched. Drinking, cutting people, is this the secret to your horrible swordsmanship? What about a liar? Which strong person did not practice hard since childhood, only to develop a formidable strength? Why should I have expectations of you? Kakashi wanted to cry without tears, he just thought he could get Yuyu's swordsmanship instruction. I don't believe it. Have you ever seen me wielding a sword to practice? How can such a low-level thing be able to practice powerful swordsmanship? Yu looked at Kakashi with a look of disbelief, and suddenly became unhappy. What a low-level method of training with a sword. I think Yu had also practiced once, swiping the knife for 10 minutes, not to mention tired, he hasn't slashed his own attribute points. What method of breaking practice? No wonder Kakashi is so weak, the cultivation method is a huge problem. No, Kakashi thought about it for a long time, but he really hadn't seen Yu practice before. Could it be that this is the gap between me and the genius? Kakashi was downcast. Before Yu became famous, he was hailed as the strongest genius of Konoha's new generation. Compared with Yu, Kakashi is ashamed to say that he is a genius. At the same time, he had some doubts about his painstaking practice all the time. Is there really a problem with your own cultivation method? Kakashi, a little autistic. Yu looked at Kakashi, who was autistic, grinned, and took Tsunade to the side to walk towards the camp. I get it. Suddenly, a Konoha Jonin yelled as if he realized it. Huh? What's the matter? Everyone was taken aback by the Jonin and asked dissatisfiedly. You guys don't understand the true meaning of Yu-Sama's words at all. This Jonin looked like he had discovered a huge secret, with his eyes shining. Oh? Did you find anything? Everyone asked. Could it be that they were negligent? As the greatest genius in history, what Mr. Yu said must of course be carefully studied. The actual meaning of Lord Yu is swordsmanship, which must be practiced in actual combat. The best swordsmanship must be comprehended in fighting with others, not by cultivating with a head covering. The Jonin said proudly. Okay, it seems to make sense. But if there is no foundation, how can we go to the actual combat? Jonin talked a lot. Stupid, so you are not Lord Yu. If you want to get the best sword technique for you, you must get it in actual combat. If you exercise your foundation at the beginning, then you will have your shape after swinging the knife, but if you want to improve, it will be difficult. This Jonin looked determined, and at the same time he was set to pay attention. After returning home, he and his 2-year-old son had a good discussion. In actual combat, we must start with the doll. Difficult. Does Yu really want to teach me? Kakashi on the side was stunned, but I miss Yuyu's experience of becoming stronger. That was really chopped out. Shortly after enrolling in school, he cut off the teacher and opened his way to become stronger. Not to mention now, who in the ninja world now dares to say that he has cut more people than Yu? Thinking of what Yu said to himself just now, he cut a few more rock shinobi to make him face up. Yu, really want to teach me swordsmanship? Kakashi. Konoha battles rock shinobi's frontline camp. Yu private tent. Although it is genin, it is Konoha's most critical force against rock shinobi. Yu, there are special treatments. This was prepared by 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, specially instructed by rock shinobi's frontline commander, Hamaki Mimura, prepared for you. Not only is it spacious and comfortable, but it's also very compelling. Looking down from the sky, I even thought that the tent where Yu was located was the commander-in-chief. This is because Sarutobi Hiruzen knows Yuyu's character too well and prefers to ostentatious. Compared with Yuyu's military exploits, Sarutobi Hiruzen directly used Konoha's war funds for these trivial things to set up a tent for Yu. Anyway, as the immediate frontline commander, Tsunade wouldn't care. At this time, inside Yuyu's tent. What's wrong? That bastard Kakashi, are you crazy? Yu cursed. From a moment ago, Kakashi's bastard looks strange. What did you say? I won't be ashamed of you if I get guidance. I will definitely cut a few more rock shinobi's cheeks for you. Such strange words that make people tremble all over. Maybe Kakashi learned from what you said. What kind of swordsmanship did Kakashi understand? Tsunade was also in Yu Yu's tent at this time, saying funny. What? Yu Yu looked dumbfounded, and Kakashi had no system. How could he realize the real mystery? Follow him. It's a big deal to teach him two hands. If you can't figure it out, you don't want to think. This is the principle Yu believes in. With this idle time, it's better to have two more glasses. Yu Yu said indifferently. Yu Yu intends to teach Kakashi two hands, mainly because this product is too weak. Some rare game can't be beaten at all. When Kakashi gets better, won't he be lucky? Yu Yu missed the rare game that Minato brought to him. Master Tsunade, Master Yu, Master Mimura Hamaki, they have already gathered in the war room. At this moment, outside the tent, a Konaha ninja said loudly. Got it. Tsunade said lightly. The moment Tsunade reached the rock shinobi frontline, the command of the Konaha frontline was handed over to Tsunade. Now, as a frontline commander, of course, he must first understand the current situation. Let's go. Combat meeting. Tsunade smiled at Yu and said, as the key force in the battle against rock shinobi, Yu naturally has to participate. It's really troublesome. Why not just cut it over? The most annoying thing about Yu is the meeting. Do you think anyone has such a strong strength as you? Tsunade said helplessly. Yes, I am a genius after all. When Yu heard Tsunade flattering herself, her mood suddenly improved. Follow Tsunade towards the war room. Konaha Rock Shinobi Frontline, War Room. Crack. The door was pushed open, and the Konaha people inside quickly stood up. Master Tsunade. Master Yu, everyone said in unison. Mimura Hamaki, Konaha's elite jonin, is powerful. Prior to this, he had always been in charge of the frontline command of Rock Shinobi. At this moment, Mimura Hamaki looked at the boy behind Tsunade curiously. In fact, with Mimura Hamaki's current status, even if Yu is strong, he doesn't need to shout an adult. This is third Hokage, specially confessed to him. If you want to make this genius happy, you must not make him angry. The most terrible thing is that this explanation was issued by military order. Must comply. According to Lord Third Hokage's account, this genius likes to be ostentatious. So Mimura Hamaki specifically explained that Yu should be called Lord Yu. Even Hamaki Mimura himself called it that, and the rest of the people would naturally have no opinion. And Chimu Yu's name, even if they are on the front line of Rock Shinobi, they are already thunderous. Such a genius must be respected. Everyone has worked hard. Before Tsunade could speak, Yu looked at the leader. He waved his hand with a serious face. Mimura Hamaki and Jonin were suddenly confused. This tone, this posture, is even more compelling than Third Hokage's inspection. This genius is really different. After a while, Mimura Hamaki came back to his senses, looking at Yu, a little bit dumbfounded. Tsunade looked serious on the surface, but Yu was actually happy, with a black line on his face. I don't know, I thought you were the frontline commander, this brat. Now start the combat meeting. However, Tsunade wouldn't care about Yu and said a little. Yes. All Jonin responded in unison. Tsunade sits in the main seat, and Yu sits in the lower right corner, which can be said to be second only to Tsunade. Mimura Jonin, tell us about the form of the battlefield. Tsunade's blonde hair was tied into a ponytail at this time. Zhao. Mei's pretty face is full of seriousness and heroism. Yes. Tsunade-sama. Mimura Hamaki looked serious and began to introduce it in detail. So, Onoki himself came. After Mimura Hamaki finished speaking, Tsunade frowned. Third Tsuchikage Onoki personally came to the front line. This news is not good. As a powerhouse of the same fame as her teacher, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Onoji's strength is definitely at the top of the ninja world. Tsunade has been wasted some time because of the fear of hyperemia. The current Tsunade has no absolute certainty that it can deal with Onoki. Can deal with Onoki, only. Tsunade looked at Yu beside him. Huh. What's the matter? Yu is wandering around the world at this time. Meetings or something, it's not bad to be able to come by yourself, and hope to listen to it by yourself. Non-existent. Tsunade looked at Yu's ignorant look, her pretty face twitched. This guy obviously didn't listen to what Mimura Hamaki said. Yu-sama is exhausted from the long journey. I feel tired when I think about it. This is the rock shinobi wine that we seized on the front line. Yu-Sama can taste it. Mimura Hamaki thought of third Hokage's explanation at this time, and said immediately. Oh? Yu-Yu's eyes lit up and he was overjoyed. Well, I have to taste it. There must be a way to break Iwagakure. Yu-Yu held the wine with a serious face. Tsunade heard the words and gave Yu-Yu a glance. If drinking wine from other villages can find a way to destroy the enemy, why do you need them? Tons, 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 ding. Chakra +3. Ding. Kendo comprehension +3. Ha. Good wine. Yu-Yu let out a sigh of relief, and sure enough, every shinobu's wine is a little different. Then what is Onoki's bastard, right? Don't worry, leave it to me. When he turned around, I cut him off. Yu-Yu waved his hand and said proudly. Everyone who looked at Konaha twitched their cheeks. This method is really simple and rude. Just when Yu and Tsunade led Konaha reinforcements to the Konaha frontline camp. Iwagakure frontline camp. Oh? Is Tsunade Heim here? Third Tsuchikage, Onoki sat in the main seat and spoke. Yes, Tsuchikage-sama, besides Tsunade Heim who is one of Sanin, there is also Seiki Yu who once smashed into Sanagakure. At the first place, Rock Shinobi's elite Jonin, Dongshuren said. Chimu Yu? Onoki's eyes narrowed. He made up his mind to go to war with Konaha completely because of Chimu Yu. At such an age, he possesses such terrible strength, and he absolutely must kill him, to avoid future troubles. Tsuchikage-sama, don't worry. What is Chimu Yu's kid? I think it's Sanagakure who exaggerated the facts. I will kill this kind of guy. At this time, Jonin of Iwagakure, a demon leech who is extremely good at swordsmanship, raised his voice. There are many opinions about Chimu Yu's strength. One is that Chimu Yu does have a strength comparable to or even surpassing the shadows of the 5 hidden villages. Alone, he killed Sanagakure. But there is another saying that Chimu Yu's record is not that amazing. That is a fact that Sanagakure deliberately exaggerated in order not to embarrass herself. After all, a teenager who fiddled with Sanagakure really made Sanagakure as the 5 hidden villages ashamed. The latter of the two versions has many loopholes, such as why Sanagakure chose to retreat after Chimu Yu invaded. But there are not many believers. The reason is simple. If Chimu Yu is really such a genius, doesn't it mean that everyone is a waste? Sometimes people just want to believe what they want. Magic leeches, that's it. As Iwagakure's Jonin who ranks among the top in swordsmanship, the leeches are very dissatisfied with the reputation of Chimu Yu. I have always hoped that in the battlefield, Chimu Yu will justify his name. It's good for you to have this heart, but don't be careless. Since Onoki decided to go to war with Konaha completely, he naturally believed the first statement more. But when he is about to start a war with Konaha, he can't grow up other people's ambitions and extinguish his own wind. So I still encourage. Everyone can talk about how to deal with this genius named Chimu Yu. Onoki raised his voice. Onoki's plan for this battle against Konaha was finalized. Although Onoki is confident of Iwagakure's strength. But it is also very clear that since Tsunade Heim returned to Konaha, Konaha's strength alone cannot be underestimated with Sanin. Plus Konaha's new elite Jonin, Namikaze Minato. Suspected of possessing time and space ninjutsu, powerful. There is also the rise of Konaha's super genius, Chimu Yu. Konaha's strength is definitely not comparable to Iwagakure. Therefore, the first goal of Onoki's combat plan is to kill Chimu Yu. The appearance of such a genius in Konaha is definitely not a good thing for Iwagakure. Onoki, who has experienced the Uchiha Madara period, knows very well. If your personal strength reaches ultimate, you can sweep the world of ninja. Ninja, there must be no second, Uchiha Madara. After Onoki's words fell, Rock Shinobi's Jonin discussed. Some say that they directly went to war with Konaha, forcing Chimu Yu to play. Some said that they came to the door directly and asked Konaha to hand over Chimu Yu's. Onoki's face was black when he heard it. Listen to the combat plans made by these idiots. What are these things? Onoki was helpless. Compared with the insidious and cunning Konaha village ninja, Iwagakure's ninja seemed too simple and honest. It is really difficult for them to come up with a strategy. Master Tsuchikage, I have an information. At this time, Rock Shinobi Jonin, Dashi hesitated, and said. Oh? You said. Oyumu's eyes lit up. Could this simple-looking Dashi come up with a strategy that would make him stand out? I heard that Chimu Uyu is very good wine. We might as well send a team to escort us the best wine of Iwagakure and lure him to looting. Dashi saw Onoki's expression, shocked, and said, "What scheming strategy?" Onoki originally had expectations, but after hearing about rosacea, his nose became crooked. Listen. What is this strategy? Also used wine to induce a super genius to plunder. To be able to grow into such a terrifying genius at this age, is wine such a vulgar thing that can attract? Even if Chimu Uyu's good wine is true, but which strong one is not extremely self-disciplined? Chimu Uyu was able to obtain such a strong strength at this age, and his self-discipline must be beyond imagination. If he can be tempted with the only thing in the cup, Onoki will screw off his rosacea. But Tsuchikage-sama, Oishi reminded me. I heard that Seiki Uyu entered the hinterland of the Kingdom of Wind in order to attack Sunagakure's supply line. Rock Shinobi's elite Jonin, Huoguang patted Dashi's arm, who was a little frustrated. Iwagakure, nothing else but unity. Even if the partner makes a mistake, he still has to be comforted. This is what you should say. Onoki slapped the table and his eyes lit up. Yes, what is the most important thing in a war? There is no doubt that it is a strategic material. If you have a sharp sword like Chimu Uyu in your hand, he will also make it attack the enemy's supply line. As long as its supply line is destroyed, it will gain a great advantage in the war. The more Oyeki thinks about it, the more he gets right. The old fox Sarutobi Hiruzen will surely let the sharp sword of Uyu Seiki destroy the enemy's supply line. Very well, Dashi, although you didn't put forward the correct opinion, you also gave us a lot of inspiration and did a good job. Onoki comforted the simple face of Dashi. Yes, is it? Oishi scratched his cheek, a little embarrassed. Everyone. That's how the battle plan is set. Send a large number of supply teams to lure Chimu Uyu to come. Eastern Deadman, Devil Leeches, Boulder, Firelight, all 4 of you are dispatched. Remember, Chimu Uyu does not show up and is not allowed to shoot. Oyemu shouted in a deep voice. Yes. As a result, under the order of Onoki, Iwagakure began to continuously send a team of escorts to escort the supplies from a fixed route to the frontline camp. This is the illusion of Iwagakure's supply route. This route was carefully selected by Onoki. There are a lot of rocks on the road, which is very convenient for ambushes. As long as Chimu Uyu appears, Onoki is sure and can kill him. In Onoki's view, the probability of success is more than 90%. Onoki decided that with the character of the old fox Sarutobi Hiruzen, he would definitely let the sharp sword of Uyu Seiki attack Iwagakure's supply line. Onoki even thought up the toast for the celebration reception, and waited for Chimu Uyu to take the bait. In this way, a few days passed. Konaha frontline daying. Still nothing happened? Tsunade looked at the information in his hand and frowned. Something is wrong. The form is very wrong. Before the reinforcements came, although Iwagakure did not launch a large-scale battle against Konaha. But the team's actions have never stopped. This is also the norm in ninja wars. First, use the form of a ninja squad to strike an important target of the enemy. If we can win the victory in this way, then it will naturally be better. But since Tsunade brought reinforcements to the front line, Iwagakure's actions seem to have stopped. Master Tsunade, our intelligence personnel have obtained an important piece of information, Iwagakure's supply route, which we learned. While Tsunade was thinking, Nara Shikajiu said suddenly. Supply route? Tsunade's eyes lit up. The supply route has always been top secret in every shinobu village. Because this is related to important strategic materials. Since the beginning of the war, Konaha has used a large number of scouting ninjas to scout Iwagakure's supply route. Is there finally a result now? But, isn't it a coincidence that the time we got for this route? At this time, Nara Shikahisa's words interrupted Tsunade's thinking. It is indeed a coincidence. Tsunade frowned. After Iwagakure suddenly stopped moving, Konaha obtained Iwagakure's supply route, which was a coincidence in terms of time. What do you think of Lord Uyu? Nara Shikajiu looked at Uyu on the side, her eyes seemed to sparkle. Since that day at the celebration party on the front line of San Shinobi, after hearing about Uyu's strategy, Nara has admired Uyu for a long time. Being so young is not only powerful, but also such a terrifying strategy. Although a little unwilling, Nara Luju had to admit that the strategies Uyu said that day were beyond his imagination. It's really subtle. So, although Nara Shikahisa was appointed as the frontline general staff, he still wanted to hear Uyu's thoughts. Just cut it over. Yu is thinking about how to get the wine of Iwagakure. Where did you hear Nara Shikahisa's report? He was called by Nara Shikajiu and said subconsciously. Oh? Nara Lugia's eyes lit up. Look, this confident look is indeed someone I admire. Come to think of it, Yu has already decided in his heart that this is not a trap. Then Tsunade-sama, let's make action. Now that Yu has said so, Nara Luju suddenly felt confident. Destroy Iwagakure's supply route. Yeah. Tsunade heard that Nara Lu said so for a long time, and he was sure of it. Nara Luju, who is known as the highest IQ person ever in Konaha village, is called a natural staff by her teacher, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Since he said so, there must be no problem. Yu, is it okay to destroy Rock Shinobi's supply line and leave it to you? Tsunade thought for a while. It is more confident to leave it to Yu for such an important matter. Is there any alcohol on that supply line? Yu didn't agree right away, but asked Nara Shikahisa. No, they are all important strategic materials, food, kunai, shuriken, and even detonation talisman. Nara Luju said. It was precisely because of the existence of the detonating talisman that Konaha decided that this was the most important supply route for Iwagakure. Detonation talisman, as a big killer on the battlefield, a chunin can be used properly to kill jonin. In each ninja village, it is of great significance. For the escort of the detonation talisman, each ninja village is very cautious. For example, Konaha, from Konaha to the frontline camp, there are 4 or 5 supply routes. But there is only one, the main route, in which there will be detonating symbols. If this main route can be destroyed, Konaha will gain a huge advantage in this war. No, then I won't go. Yu waved his hand in disappointment. No wine at all. Why do you go? If you don't go, who will go? Tsunade is a little helpless. Yu really has no interest in anything other than wine. Let Kakashi go, and let a few jonin cooperate, it's enough. This little thing, also use me to do it. What am I? I have to deal with that bastard Onoki. Yu waved his hand. The supply route is only, there is no wine, do it yourself, doesn't it seem to be a low price? How can I be regarded as the number 2 figure on the front line of Konaha, so can I shoot casually? Yu picked up the wine glass and took a sip of wine. Master Tsunade, what Yu-sama said makes sense. Nara Lugia's face was serious. Yeah. Tsunade nodded, and after thinking about it, she was indeed inconsiderate. Because of the relationship with Yu, and because of Yu's age, she really ignored it. The current Yu is the most powerful player on the front line of Konaha Rock Shinobi, and the number 2 player in the front line of Konaha Rock Shinobi. It is also Konaha's trump card. Konaha dispatched the second person on a supply line, which is indeed too low in price. Thinking of this, Tsunade glanced at Yu with emotion. As expected of the man she was fond of, he grew up really fast. Then Kakashi, this task is left to you, Tsunade said to Kakashi on the side. Yes. Tsunade-sama. Kakashi answered with a sharp look. At the same time, he was extremely moved, and sure enough, Yu really wanted to teach him sword skills. Then what, Kakashi, this is a good opportunity to show the power of the swordsmanship I taught you. Go hack a few rock shinobi bastards to make me face up, you know? Although Yu didn't plan to send out, he still had to be forced, and said to Kakashi with a serious face. Isn't Kakashi's exploits his own? Just go back and teach this kid 2 hands. Yeah. Kakashi decided that Yu would teach him sword skills, and nodded with emotion. Then what? If Iwagakure escorted wine during the supply route, immediately report it to me in secret, and I will do it myself. When Kakashi was about to leave the house, Yu patted Kakashi on the shoulder and quietly ordered. This word happened to be heard by Tsunade, and his face suddenly became black. Unfortunately, she thought that Yu grew up, because Rock Shinobi did not escort wine. Iwagakure is on a road leading to Rock Shinobi frontline camp. The mountain road here is rugged and there are many rocks on the road. At this time, a Rock Shinobi transport team was slowly advancing here. Damn it. How many days have it been? Hasn't the guy named Chimu Yu taken the bait yet? Behind a rock, Demon Leech fiddled with shinobi sword, his expression a little impatient. He already can't wait to see Chimu Yu with his hand, to make his name famous. Don't worry, Molek, the competition at this time is patience. The commander-in-chief of this operation, Dong Shuren, was not wrinkled, and said a lesson. As the Jonin of Iwagakure, Demon Leech is one of the best in Iwagakure. But the character, unlike Iwagakure's ninja, is too impatient. Got it. As Iwagakure Jonin is also one of the best characters in the East Dead, the demon leeches naturally didn't dare to speak too much, and responded listlessly, staring at the direction of the transport team stubbornly. Swish. 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 Come on. Seeing dozens of figures smashing out from the shadows, the magic leech was overjoyed. Enemy attack. At this time, Rock Shinobi of the Rock Shinobi transport team saw the Konaha Shinobi who broke out from the shadows, and they quickly formed a defensive formation. Chong. Kill. Destroy all these materials. Kakashi yelled and White Fang came out of her sheath. Puff. A bright white silver light flickered, and a rock shinobi was slashed by Kakashi. What are we waiting for? The magic leech looked at the scene of the battle, impatiently. That person, not Chimuyu with silver hair. Dongsarin was extremely calm, watching Kakashi lost his thoughts. That knife is White Fang. It should be Hitaki Kakashi, the son of Konaha's White Fangya. With the flames on the side, his pupils shrank suddenly and said. White Fang, as the sword of Hitaki Sakumo, brought great losses to Iwagakure in the Second Ninja War. The appearance of this knife is deeply engraved in the memory of the fire. Coupled with the Hitaki knife technique used by Kakashi, Huoguang immediately determined Kakashi's identity. Who cares about him? Kill him first. Demon leeches can ignore these, holding a shinobi sword and shouting. Our goal is Uyu Saiga, not Hitaki Kakashi. Dong Siren glanced at Mo Leech coldly, making him shut up immediately. Report to Master Tsuchikage about the situation here. Dong Shuren said to Dashi, although Chimuyu did not appear. But Hitaki Kakashi is also Konoha's rare genius, and it would be a good thing to kill him here. But Dongsarin still has to ask Onoji's opinion. Understood. Dashi let out a deep cry and began to use means to contact Rock Shinobi Camp. Rock Shinobi Frontline Camp. Tsuchikage-sama, there is news from Higashi Saito-sama that Konoha has attacked our transport unit. A member of the Rock Shinobi intelligence class reports. Oh. Is it Chimuyu? Onoki's eyes lit up and said excitedly. It's not Uyu Saiga, but the son of Konoha's White Fangya, Hitaki Kakashi. The personnel of the intelligence class said. Hitaki Kakashi. Onoki frowned. Although Hitaki Kakashi has a reputation as the son of Konoha's White Fangfang. But compared with Chimuyu, it's not worth mentioning. Tell them to stop acting and continue to wait. After a while, Onoki lifted his brows and ordered. If you act on Hitaki Kakashi now, Konoha will definitely react. This line is a trap made by Iwagakure. So next time you want to lead Chimuyu, it won't be possible anymore. But this time Konoha's actions also made Onoki more convinced. Sarutobi Hiruzen's strategy is to use elite troops to attack the enemy's supply lines. It was exactly the same as the method used to defeat Sand Shinobi. It's better to let Hitaki Kakashi win this battle, and use more lucrative supplies as bait next time. At that time, Chimuyu will definitely take the bait. Onoki's eyes were bright and scary, as if he had seen Seiki Uyu dying in Iwagakure's ambush. What did Master Tsuchikage say? On the battlefield, the battle was almost over, Mo Leech asked hurriedly. Tsuchikage-sama has an order, continue to wait, you must wait until Chimuyu appears. Dong Shuren shouted in a deep voice, damn it. The leeches looked at the rock shinobi who were about to be killed, their eyes flushed, and they hammered the ground fiercely. Their sacrifice is worth it. As long as you kill Saiga Uyu at that time, Iwagakure will win the final victory. Dong Siren's heart is also uncomfortable, but as a commander, he must be calm. Shen said. Diaresis got it. The devil said dumbly. Soon, the battle was over, and Iwagakure escorted all the troops to death. The materials were burned to ashes by Konoha. Konoha, a big win. Konoha frontline daying. Master Tsunade, Master Uyu, Kakashi is back. With a smile on Mimura's face, he walked into the battle tent. Oh? How? Tsunade stood up and asked quickly. As judged by Lord Uyu, the enemy did not ambush, and all the supplies were burned by us. Mimura Hamaki said with a smile, good. Tsunade was overjoyed and looked at Uyu who was drinking. As expected of Uyu-sama. Naraluju on the side said with emotion. Such an accurate judgment is really admirable. Uyu, how did you know that Iwagakure would not set an ambush? Tsunade said with some confusion. Actually, Tsunade has been worried since Kakashi and the others left Konoha Daing. I'm afraid that Rock Shinobi's ambush. After all, in terms of time, it is too coincidental. As soon as he led the reinforcements to the front line, Rock Shinobi suddenly lost his movement, and the supply route was found by Konoha. But it turns out that her worries are superfluous, and Yu Yu's judgment is correct. Guru. Yu Yu didn't speak, and calmly drank a glass of wine. I know a fart. According to Yu Yu's own logic, no matter whether he ambushes or not, just cut it over and kill him. And when did I say that there is no ambush on Iwagakure? I just said, just cut it over. However, this look of Yu immediately made Tsunade feel unpredictable, and the beautiful eyes were full of colors. As expected of the man she fell in love with. Not only strength, but even strategy is so unusual. In the following days, Konoha continued to send Kakashi and several jonin to fight Iwagakure's supply lines everywhere. After several successes, Iwagakure suffered heavy losses. It also made Kakashi, the son of Konoha's White Fangya, famous. Ninja was shocked at once, and Konoha really deserved to be the cradle of genius. After Chimu another genius rose up. But when I heard that Hitaki Kakashi followed Konoha's super genius, Chimu after learning the sword technique for several days. Ninja World suddenly realized. That's why it's no wonder. That is Chimu known as the greatest genius since Konoha was founded. With his guidance, is it strange that Hitaki Kakashi has increased in strength? On the contrary, the ninja world felt a little horrified and inexplicable. Just teaching Hitaki Kakashi for a few days has made him so much stronger. They all felt that Chimu swordsmanship had reached an unpredictable level. As a result, Chimu reputation once again rose. Rock Shinobi frontline camp. Bang. Damn it. Onoki patted the table, his face flushed. These days, Iwagakure's loss is huge in order to lure the appearance of Saiga Uyu. Several transport teams were destroyed by Konoha. In the end, even a lot of detonating charms were escorted, and news was released in advance. As a result, it was still Hitaki Kakashi who came to rob. Iwagakure paid such a big price. In the end, I didn't even see Chimu hair. These days, Iwagakure paid a heavy price, but did not gain the slightest gain. On the contrary, Chimu reputation has been greatly enhanced. Iwagakure, it can be described as extremely embarrassing. Such a huge temptation, that Chimu didn't show up. Damn it. Onoki was very angry. Thinking of the detonation talisman in the car that was destroyed, Oyemu felt extremely heartbroken. Detonation talisman, as the most critical resource in war, is extremely rare even in Iwagakure. In order to lure Chimu to come, Onoki reluctantly took out this car detonation charm as a bait. And deliberately let Konoha's intelligence personnel obtain this information. In the end, Kakashi, the special Hagiki, came. Where is the problem? Onoki paced back and forth, very incomprehensible. Judging from the battle in the Sunagakure battlefield, Chimu definitely went to Sunagakure's supply line. But this time, no matter how tempted you are, Chimu just doesn't take the bait. After all, what went wrong? What does the old fox Sarutobi Hiruzen think? Onoki cursed secretly, for this old opponent, he has never had the slightest affection for him. In other words, he doesn't have the slightest affection for Konoha, who likes to play conspiracy. It's like their Iwagakure, so simple. Tsuchikage-sama, you can't go on like this anymore. If Chimu doesn't get the bait, can't we still release the bait? We will come back a few more times, and we won't have to fight this war. A jonin from Rock Shinobi said with a wry smile. After these several losses, Iwagakure's forward supplies were slightly inadequate. A few more times, then Iwagakure really can't hold it. Insufficient supply of war resources on the front line will cause major problems. In the war, the most lethal things are these war materials. After all, jonin is only a minority, and even jonin, chakra is limited. Even if the jonin are killed with ninjutsu, how many can they kill? Most of the casualties in the war came from kunai and detonation amulet. If it was because of the bait for Konoha, the war would fail. Then Iwagakure can be laughed to death. If I play myself to death, Iwagakure will definitely become the laughing stock of the entire ninja world. I know. Onoki clutched his forehead and said angrily. He didn't know that he couldn't continue anymore. However, Onoki is really not reconciled. This is an excellent opportunity to kill Chimu. As long as Chimu is beheaded, then Iwagakure's war goal has been achieved. For the rest, just sit and watch the battle between Cloud Shinobi Village and Konoha and take advantage of it. Master Tsuchikage, why don't we kill that Hitaki Kakashi, and now Hitaki Kakashi has become famous. Killing him can also boost our morale. At this time, the Rock Shinobi Jonin suggested. It makes sense. Onoki nodded. Repeated defeats caused Rock Shinobi's morale to languish. The beheading of Hitaki Kakashi, who has made numerous battles, will surely make Rock Shinobi's frontline military spirits uplifted. And you can prove the strength of Iwagakure to the ninja world. Maybe bad things can turn into good things. Although he didn't kill Chimu Uyu, it was better than nothing. Onoki comforted himself. Let Iwagakure send some good wine with the supplies this time, and when Hitaki Kakashi is cut, I will have a celebration party to boost morale. Onoki ordered. Yes. Rock Shinobi Jonin responded immediately. Also, let Dongseijin and Huoguang come back first. For a Hitaki Kakashi, leeches and dashi are enough. Onoki thought for a while and said again. Now Konoha's frontline moves frequently. In order to ambush Uyu Saiga, Rock Shinobi's camp is a little lacking in strength. To deal with a Hitaki Kakashi in a mere district, there is no need for the dead in the fire. Might as well bring them back to play a bigger role. In the past few days, Iwagakure has been frustrated frequently in Konoha's hands. It's time for these two titans to rectify Iwagakure's name. As for why Onogi is sure that the person who looted this time must be Kakashi. Isn't that nonsense? Even the detonation talisman could not entice Chimu Uyu to come. This time the supplies are so common, how could Uyu Chimu come here? Does it depend on the wine that comes in? Onoki remembered Dashi's original suggestion, and his mouth was a little bitter. Because of Oishi's suggestion, Onogi was inspired to formulate this strategy. But it now appears that this strategy has clearly failed. Next time, I don't know when it will be before I have a chance to kill Chimu Uyu. Let's use Hitaki Kakashi first, let's do it. In Oyumu's eyes, a sharp color flashed by. Rock Shinobi Battlefield, Iwagakure Supply Line. Tsuchikage-sama finally gave the order, Hitaki Kakashi. Although it is not Uyu Saiga, it should be good to ruin the feeling of White Fang. The eyes of the leeches were scarlet. These days, he has been patient and witnessed the massacre of their Iwagakure transport troops in Konoha village. If it hadn't been for Dongseren's stopping, the devil would have been tempted to kill the little demon named Hitaki Kakashi. Now, Dongseren and Huoguang have returned to Rock Shinobi camp, and 3rd Tsuchikage has also issued orders. He can finally avenge the dead Rock Shinobi by handblade of the little devil named Hitaki Kakashi. Magic leeches, let Hitaki Kakashi take care of it later. The big stone on the side said dully. These days, in fact, the most tormented is Dashi. Because of his suggestion, Tsuchikage Master made this battle plan. As a result, not only did not kill Chimu Uyu, but Iwagakure suffered a heavy loss. Although Tsuchikage-sama and his companions did not blame him. But Oishi still felt very tormented, thinking that he was the sinner of Iwagakure. These days, he dreams of using Hitaki Kakashi to make atonement for himself. We are playing fair. Whoever kills Hitaki Kakashi belongs to whom? The devil frowned. Blade of White Fang has a great reputation as the knife of Konoha's White Fang. If the knife of Konoha's White Fang can be cut off, the reputation of the leeches will also be greatly enhanced. However, considering Dashi's mood, the leeches made a concession. After all, Iwagakure is most famous for their unity. Even Mazi Zhao cares about his companions very much. Good. Dashi, who knows the character of the magic leeches, knows that the magic leeches has given way to himself, muffled. At the same time, Rock Shinobi's transportation team slowly appeared. In a shadow. Kakashi, do it. A Konoha Jonin looked at the transportation team that appeared, his eyes filled with excitement. These days, they did not know how much they had done in the mission of attacking Rock Shinobi's supply line. With many successes, this Konoha Jonin can't wait to make another meritorious service. Okay, wait. Is that? Kakashi was about to answer, suddenly his gaze condensed, and he looked at the back of the Rock Shinobi transport team. What's wrong? Is there anything wrong? The Konoha Jonin asked anxiously. That is, the bar? Kakashi pointed to several large cars behind Iwagakure, and asked uncertainly. It seems to be. What's wrong? Let's do it now. This Konoha Jonin looked at it carefully for a moment and confirmed. Yu specially confessed that if you have alcohol, you must tell him, and he will do it himself. Kakashi pointed to the carts of wine and said. Master Yu. The enthusiasm in this Jonin's eyes slowly receded, and he was somewhat slanderous. Since it's Master Yu's order, let's tell Daing. Another Konoha Jonin said solemnly. Soon, there was Konoha's ninja, who passed the news to Konoha Daing through special means. So, Kakashi and the others waited here patiently, watching the rock shinobi transport team silently. After a long time. What's the matter? Why don't Konoha's people do it? The magic leeches looked anxious at the calm transportation team. He was already ready to kill, but Konoha's people didn't even do it. Isn't this playing him? I don't know. Dashi was also a little anxious, watching around. But there are too many rocks here, and the line of sight is severely blocked. It is too difficult to find out whether Konoha is in ambush. Damn it. The eyes of the magic leeches were red, and he stared at the transportation team. At the same time, has Konoha Daing returned the news? A Konoha's Jonin asked eagerly as he watched the rock shinobi transport team get out of the ambush circle. If you don't do anything, rock shinobi's transportation team will get out of here and arrive at rock shinobi camp. Not yet. The member of the intelligence team in charge of intelligence shook his head. Let's do it. Yu-sama may not come. If you wait, there will be no chance. Said Konoha Jonin, the eager person. Wait. Kakashi wasn't sure at this time whether Yu would come, his eyes flickering. Now Kakashi, after these few battles, his self-confidence has been greatly improved. Even with that, I felt that my sword skills had improved significantly. Even more sure, Yu is really teaching him swordsmanship. Kakashi didn't care about Yu's bullying of herself at that time. On the contrary, I was a little touched. After all, how many families Konoha used with knives hope Yu can give some guidance to their younger generations. For these families, Yu didn't pay any attention. Compared with those families, he is insignificant. Therefore, Kakashi also hopes to fulfill Yu's instructions before leaving. Don't wait. Wait, these rock shinobi are going to run away. The eager Jonin looked at rock shinobi's transportation team and was about to leave the ambush location, suddenly anxious. The first team, follow me. He gritted his teeth and headed a few Chunin regardless, and killed rock shinobi. Damn it. Kakashi and the remaining Jonin suddenly cursed. But seeing that rock shinobi had begun to fight back, he gritted his teeth and went into battle. Finally shot. The leeches saw Konoha's action, and he was overjoyed. When he saw Kakashi slay out of the shadows, the murderous intent of the leeches and Dashi reached its peak. Kill. Kill all Konoha's miscellaneous pieces and avenge our dead companions. The demon leeches roared and killed them in the first place. Kill. The many rock shinobi in ambush have long been impatient. These days, they have witnessed Konoha's bastards and killed their companions. At this moment, hatred filled their brains, and with a roar, all rock shinobi slew towards Kakashi and the others. Damn it. There is an ambush. Kakashi and the others looked at the many rock shinobi that burst out from the shadows, their expressions changed dramatically. The Konoha shinobi who was eager to make a contribution is even more desperate. He knew the leading demon leeches. It is a very powerful Jonin from Iwagakure. Everyone here, no one is his opponent at all. Earth-style crack the soil and turn your hands. Dashi's simple and honest face was full of killing intent at this moment. His hands quickly formed a seal, and his right hand slapped on the ground fiercely. Kacha. Kacha. Bang. The earth shook violently, and a huge crack was opened under the influence of chakra. Ah! Several Konoha shinobi screamed and fell weakly into the crack, and there was no sound anymore. Rock shinobi swordsmanship Iwaki. The leeches gave a low cry, and the shinobu in his hand turned into an afterimage, violently passing over the body of a Konoha special Jonin. Puff. Unprepared, Konoha's special Jonin was killed by him. Damn, too many enemies. Holding White Fang in his hand, Kakashi gritted his teeth secretly as he watched the heavy casualties of Konoha. These bastards. Kakashi suddenly discovered that these rock shinobi didn't attack him as if intentionally. It seems to be the last prey. Hitaki knife technique White Fang. Kakashi sighed with death in his eyes, and the White Fang blade in his hand turned into an afterimage, slashing fiercely towards the rock shinobi who killed the most. Chong. Is this the blade of White Fang? The leech's ninja sword resisted the attack of the White Fang's blade firmly, and looked at Kakashi with a cruel look in his eyes. Boy, are you the son of Konoha's White Fang? Your sword skills are very rubbish. The ninja in the hands of the demon leeches turned into afterimages, covering Kakashi's whole body completely. Chong. Kang. Kang. Kakashi didn't even have a chance to speak at this time, so he could only cope with it. As Iwagakure, Molek is also a top-ranked swordsman. Kakashi is not an opponent at all. Asshole, this guy is teasing me on purpose. Kakashi gritted his teeth, his eyes flashed with humiliation. Do you feel humiliated? Then my companions who were killed by you were even more humiliating? The leeches looked at the humiliation in Kakashi's eyes, a flash of joy flashed in his eyes, and the shinobu sword in his hand fell fiercely. Puff. Kakashi was caught off guard, and got a knife in his right shoulder. Oh, damn it. Kakashi gasped violently, staring at the leeches. No? Boy, we have been in ambush since you first ambushed our transport team. Mazi held a ninja sword, and a sarcasm smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. For Kakashi, he already hated it. How could Kakashi be killed so easily? What? Kakashi's pupils shrank suddenly. But our goal is not your trash, but the one named Chimu Uyu, but it's strange, why did that guy keep not coming, but let you die? Looking at Kakashi's unbelievable expression, Mochi was immediately relieved. Nonsense. Kakashi came back to his senses and snorted coldly. He didn't believe what the name Rock Shinobi said. This person is deliberately using psychological warfare. Oh? Leech. Leave this to me. Seeing that Kakashi didn't believe it, the leeches were about to say something. Dashi walked to his side with blood on his face, and muttered. Why are you here? These Konaha ninjas haven't been cleaned up yet, are they? The leeches let out a cry, regretting teasing Kakashi for a while, but didn't kill him on the spot. Kill this guy first, these Konaha shinobi can't run. With a strong killing intent in Dashi's eyes, he mumbled. Kakashi, damn it. The several jonin who Konahakata was resisting at this time were shocked when he saw the situation here. Although they wanted to rescue them, the rock shinobi in front of them entangled them tightly and couldn't get out. This kid, we all want to kill him. It's better than we take the shot together. Whoever kills him first, even if it belongs to him. The leeches looked at Kakashi who was panting, as if looking at the contents of his bag, and said to Dashi. Oishi is not weak, but because he is an earth-style ninja, his speed is not fast. But the leeches themselves are ninjas who use swordsmanship. The leech was confident that he could cut off Kakashi's head by one step. Okay. Dashi was silent for a moment, did not say anything, muttered. Asshole. Listening to the words of the leeches and Dashi, Kakashi was very angry. But after fighting with the leeches, his chakra is already somewhat insufficient. Now there is another rock shinobi that is equivalent to the magic leeches. Today, are you going to die? Kakashi gritted his teeth, a little unwilling in his eyes. He has not yet justified his dead father. I'll count 1, 2, 3, let's shoot together. The leeches sarcastically looked at Kakashi who still wanted to resist, and said to Oishi. Yeah. Dashi nodded, with a sharp look in his eyes. 1. Chong. The ninja sword of the demon leeches exudes an astonishing cold light. 2. Crack, crack, the rock slowly wrapped the right arm of Dashi, seemingly powerful. Little devil, remember, you died for Chimu Uyu, but don't worry, Chimu Uyu will be beheaded by me soon, and I will stay with you. Haha. Finally, the leeches laughed loudly. 3. Woo. The magic leeches and Dashi moved at the same time. Asshole. Kakashi looked at the leeches and Dashi coming towards him, and raised the white fang short blade, trying to make the last resistance. Ohm. At this moment, like a thunder in the sky, a 10-meter-high black and purple slash appeared out of thin air, with a gesture of crushing everything, passing in front of Kakashi. Woo. The leeches and Dashi were shocked, and quickly jumped back. Rumble. When watching this slash, it cut out a terrifying abyss that was tens of meters deep. The horror in the eyes of the devil leeches and Dashi could not conceal. Who? The magic leech screamed. As a swordsman user, this attack was beyond his imagination. A strong sense of crisis wrapped his whole person, and his whole body began to tremble. Aren't you looking for me? A figure slowly walked out of the shadow. Uyu. Master Uyu. Kakashi and Konaha looked at the figure that appeared in surprise. Chimu. Uyu. Looking at the scars on the ground like an abyss, the devil swallowed fiercely, and looked at the figure that appeared in shock. Chimu. Uyu. Demon Leech looked at the figure that appeared, looked at the abyss like the sky, swallowed fiercely. Dangerous. Extremely dangerous. On this figure, the magic leech felt a breath that made him tremble all over. Alert. Oishi gave a low cry, and all rock shinobi immediately stared at Uyu with great vigilance, as if they were approaching an enemy. Master Uyu. While rock shinobi stopped their hands, Konaha's ninjas also got rid of their opponents and jumped to Uyu's side. Kakashi, where is my wine? Uyu ignored the rock shinobi who were very wary of him. I patted Kakashi, who was still in fear, and asked. There. Kakashi gasped violently and pointed to a transporter. Oh? Good job, Kakashi. Uyu fixed his eyes, and his eyes suddenly lit up and praised. Kakashi gave a wry smile, his current appearance was too embarrassing. Had it not been for Uyu to come, I'm afraid he would be the dead soul of rock shinobi now. Asshole. Do you look down on us? The leeches didn't pay any attention to them at all. Instead, Uyu was talking and laughing with Kakashi. His teeth were about to be broken, and he roared. Huh? What did you bastard just say? Are you going to chop me? The roar of the devil leeches attracted Uyu's attention. Uyu grinned at the ugly-faced leeches. Only, you trash? Boom. Uyu's pupils shrank, and the terrifying aura rushed out like thunder. Conqueror's Hockey. Start. Boom. In an instant, a terrifying wave of air swept the entire battlefield, and the clouds in the sky completely dissipated under this momentum. It seems that even the clouds dare not be above Uyu. Nothing can surpass the king. Puff, puff. Conqueror's Hockey swept all rock shinobi, except rock shinobi's Jonin. Including Jonin in particular, cannot withstand the impact of Conqueror's Hockey. One after another, they fainted. The weak are not even qualified to look directly at the king. In an instant, the battlefield was empty, and only Jonin from rock shinobi were left, looking at Uyu in horror. This. The cold sweat of the magic leeches was dripping, and just now, he felt a terrible momentum impact. Uyu in front of him is like a king who is above all living beings. The fear in his heart has been infinitely magnified. Oh, damn, don't shake. Demon Leech looked at the ninja sword in his hand, and it was trembling constantly. Did he even lose the courage to hold a knife? The leeches looked at Uyu in disbelief. Who are you? The magic leech screamed. It's like a wild monkey, and it's too thin. Go away and chop you and dirty my knife. Uyu glanced at the devil and said lightly. This guy is skinny like a monkey, but Iwagakure's ninja. It is estimated that this idiot won't have any physical rewards after cutting it down. This kind of rubbish is not worthy of cutting it by himself. Wild monkey? Skinny, too thin, bastard. Hearing Uyu's evaluation of him, the devil's face flushed suddenly, and his heart was extremely angry. Most of the people in Iwagakure are huge, and their figure has always been the pride of the magic leeches. But now, he was so insulted, called to be a wild monkey. If someone had spoken to him like this before, he would have killed that person long ago. But now, facing this person, he couldn't even hold the knife firmly, he could only gritted his teeth and kept trying to control his body. You guy has a good physique. At this moment, Uyu looked at the big stone on the side, and his eyes suddenly lighted up. Look at this physique, how big it is. It seems that the old man didn't lie to himself, Iwagakure's guys have good physical fitness. Uyu sighed in his heart. Leech, what should I do? Do you want to retreat? Although Dashi is honest, but not stupid. This Chimu Uyu wiped out most of them just based on his aura. Looking at the terrifying moat cut by Chimu Uyu again, Dashi knew very well that he and the leeches were not rivals. Moreover, Uyu's gaze made him chill. Retreat. Go. What's a joke? The demon leeches forcibly stabilized his figure, although his hands were still trembling a little, he was already able to hold the shinobi. Mazi looked at Uyu with red eyes. He just released a rhetoric that Chimu Uyu will be cut by the knife. Now that he didn't even fight, he fled back to the camp in a desperate manner. So in the future, what kind of face will he stay in Iwagakure? Yes, damn it. Leech looked at Uyu's eyes, and the hand holding the knife began to shake uncontrollably again. At least, there are two tricks, it's better than going back dingy. The devil gritted his teeth fiercely, and blood dripped from the corner of his mouth. The severe pain caused the demon leeches to temporarily suppress his fear, holding the ninja sword firmly in his right hand, and the blue veins burst out. Demon leeches didn't believe him, because he was also among the top swordsmanship skills in Iwagakure. he didn't even have room for 2 tricks with this person named Chimu Chong. Grumbling. Lori, screaming, "You wild monkey, quickly roll aside for me. You, come over and let me chop, you are eligible to be chopped by me." Yu took Chusui out of her sheath, poured 2 sips of wine, and looked at Dashi with scary eyes. I don't know how many physique points he has after cutting off this big man. Asshole. Woo. Molek was so excited by Yu's words that he completely lost his mind. Chakra broke out under his feet, holding the shinobi sword, and slashed at Yu fiercely. Leech. Dashi was shocked immediately. A guy whose heart is upset is worthy of swinging a knife at me? Yu yawned boredly as you looked at the leeches that were galloping. Chimu go to hell. Yu didn't put himself in his eyes at all in this picture, making the demon leech's eyes flushed, roared, and the shinobu in his hand swung down fiercely. Puff. The sound of the sharp weapon entering the body sounded. One sword flow heart cut. Yu glanced at the blood on Chu Shui Dao's body and said faintly. Bah. With blood gushing, the leeches were slapped twice under the horrified gaze of the remaining Jonins of Iwagakure. Boom. The demon leeches, which were chopped into 2 pieces, fell to the ground fiercely. Ding. Kill rock shinobi Jonin after drinking. Ding. Kendo comprehension plus 50. Physique plus 30. The system prompt sounded in Yu's mind. Huh? Still useful. Yu didn't expect that this guy who was slashed by himself could provide such a wealth of attribute points. Let's not talk about the kendo comprehension, after all, this guy uses a ninja sword. But being able to obtain 30 points of physique attribute points really made Yu a little overjoyed. This skinny guy, like a wild monkey, can provide so many physical attributes, so what about this big guy? Yu looked at Dashi with beaming eyes and felt confident. The old man really didn't lie to him. Iwagakure, great place. Magic, leeches. Dashi swallowed fiercely, looking at the stump that was chopped in 2 with a knife in disbelief. In terms of strength, the magic leeches should even be above him. However, he was hacked to death by this monster? Master Demon Leech. The eyes of Rock Shinobi were full of horror. Demon leeches, as Iwagakure's use of swordsmanship is also the top Jonin, and Iwagakure is definitely one of the masters. But such a person was hacked to death with a single knife. Chimu the greatest genius since Konaha founded the village. Now, these rock shinobi have a new understanding of this title. But what makes them desperate is that this terrible guy is the enemy they are facing now. Okay, so strong. Kakashi looked at Yu's back with shock in his eyes. Although he already knew that Yu's strength was not what he could imagine. But Kakashi's impression of Yu's strength still remains in the ninja school period. Since Yu became famous, Kakashi has not seen Yu's shot. Now, Kakashi has a new understanding of Yu's strength. The Iwagakure Jonin, who had driven him to a desperate situation and had no room to fight back, was hacked to death by Yu. Witnessing such a scene with my own eyes gave Kakashi a great shock. As expected, we are the greatest genius in Konoha's history. A Konoha Jonin murmured with pride in his tone. Chong. Okay, it's your turn. Yu shook Chusui, and Chusui's knife uttered a harsh sword sound. This piercing sound of the sword caused Iwagakure's people to tremble, and a look of fear appeared in their eyes. Even such a powerful leeches died in the hands of this person. Isn't it the same as sending them to death when they confront such a monster? You go. I'll break it. At this time, Dashi suddenly gritted his teeth and roared. In Dashi's heart, the will to die has emerged. The fundamental reason for Iwagakure's failure this time was the strategy he offered to Master Tsuchikage. Because of him, Iwagakure suffered heavy losses, and now even the leeches are killed. With such a big mistake, Dashi has no face to return to Iwagakure, determined to use his life to buy time for his companions. This can be regarded as his atonement. Go? You all can't go. Yu grinned and looked at the group of rock shinobi's eyes, revealing the color that is inevitable. These rock shinobi, one of them looks bigger than the other. Even a skinny wild monkey can provide so many physical attribute points. If all these big guys are cut off, then one's physique will definitely rise. It's another step forward from the moment to show the house prestige to Tsunade. Woo. Chakra exploded under Yu's feet, and the whole person was like a sharp sword out of its sheath, stabbing in the direction of Rock Shinobi fiercely. Go. Earth-style fist rock. Feeling a strong sense of crisis, Dashi's complexion changed drastically. With a low sigh, Under the action of chakra nature transformation, Dashi's right hand has completely turned into the hardest rock. Along with the howling sound, Dashi's right hand slammed at Uyu fiercely. Armed. Om Chang. The black armament hockey completely wrapped Chushui's blade in an instant. The black air current resembles a deadly shinigami, exuding a chilling breath. Huh. Chu Shui turned into a dark purple afterimage and fell fiercely towards the big stone. Drink. Dashi saw the black and purple afterimage cut towards him, and let out a final roar. All the chakras concentrated on his right hand and blasted fiercely. Puff. With blood rising, the earth style, which is comparable to the hardest rock, is as fragile as white paper in front of armament hockey. Bah. A scary knife mark penetrated Dashi's horrified expression completely. The blood rose, and the look in Dashi's eyes quickly dimmed. Weird monster. With a murmur, everything fell into silence. Ding. Kill rock shinobi Jonin after drinking. Ding. Kendo comprehension plus 2-0. Chakra plus 4-0. Physique plus 1-5. Huh? Yuyu's expression paused, and his eyes narrowed slightly. What's the matter? Yuyu frowned as he looked at the corpse of Dashi under his feet. How does this big guy provide physical attribute points that are not as good as that of a wild monkey? I have to experiment. Yuyu's eyes slowly turned cold, and he looked at the horrified rock shinobi. Run. Rock shinobi looked at Yuyu's cold eyes as if they had fallen into an ice cave. They roared and fled into the distance in a panic. And what awaited them were violent slashes over 10 meters high. Rumble. Chu Shui continued to wave down, and the violent black and purple slashes were like thunder in the sky, violently rushing out. The violent slash was ruthlessly raging on this land, and the earth screamed continuously. Quick, run. When rock shinobi heard the terrible loud noise, they turned their heads, and they almost collapsed from the shock. Those black and purple violent slashes over 10 meters high almost flooded the battlefield. This battlefield suddenly turned into a land of death raged by swords. They want to flee, but how can the speed of people be able to slash? Puff. Soon, these remaining rock shinobi all died tragically under the violent slash. Although he killed all rock shinobi, Yuyu's face was very exciting. The physique attribute points provided by these seemingly large rock shinobi are not as good as the wild monkey that was cut off by himself in the first place. In other words, rock shinobi's big guy is just a look. Dead old man, white-haired bastard, you two wait for me. Yuyu gritted his teeth. These two bastards dare to lie to themselves. Iwagakure. What's the broken place? This account, Iwagakure, I remember. Yes, Lord Uyu? Yes, is there any problem? A Konaha Jonin looked at all the rock shinobi who died tragically, with joy in his eyes. But what puzzles him is why Uyu-sama exudes such a chilling aura. Courageously, the Konaha Jonin asked cautiously. It's nothing, these rock shinobi bastards, it's not easy to cut. Yuyu threw a knife flower, scabbed Chusui, and snorted coldly. Everyone in Konaha was suddenly silent. It's not easy to cut, what a cruel saying. Kakashi, bring me all the wine back. Yuyu said to Kakashi with a cold face. Understood. Kakashi nodded. Let's help too. Konaha everyone said quickly. Looking at the whole car of Iwagakure's fine wines, Yuyu's mood improved. The bastard over there, come out for me. While Konaha's people were carrying the wine, Uyu looked at the distant rock and shouted. Who? The Konaha people were immediately on alert. Don't kill me. The rocks changed, and a rock shinobi's eyes were filled with terrible fear, and his figure slowly revealed. It's rock shinobi's intelligence team member, Uyu-sama, kill him? One of Konaha's Jonin looked fortunate, and at the same time he was even more in awe of Uyu. The most troublesome thing about rock shinobi is that you can use earth style to dive into the soil or rocks. Unexpectedly, Lord Uyu is not only powerful, but also so powerful in perception. Kill him. Dirty my knife. Yuyu looked at the big figure of this rock shinobi, disgusted. Observation hockey is swept away, and Uyu knows the probable strength of this rock shinobi. That is, an elite chunin. After hacking this kind of guy, he doesn't even have any attribute points. You. Go and bring a word to Onoki. Yuyu pointed the knife at the rock shinobi and shouted. Great, you say, my lord. Rock shinobi said in fear. Tell Oyemu, he is simply a waste. How to manage the village? You raised a bunch of fat waste. Let the bastard Oyemu wait for me, and I will teach him how to manage the village. Yuyu cursed. This group of rock shinobi, one looks bigger than the other, but it turns out that they are all pretty. As Tsuchikage, Onoki can't escape the blame. It's a waste, and he doesn't even know how to train a ninja. The rock shinobi looked stunned, and didn't understand why the monster killed all of their people, and turned out to be so angry. I remember your breath. If you want to survive, bring me the words. Let the people in your village give me a good workout, train me that fat body into muscles, and study hard with the bastards of Cloud Shinobi Village, understand? Yu threatened. Yes, yes. Rock Shinobi responded only with promise. Live, survived. After Yu and the others left, the rock shinobi suddenly collapsed. He was gasping for breath, with a look of fear in his eyes. You must report to Master Tsuchikage immediately. This rock shinobi thought of the picture just now, and his whole body trembled a little, forcibly suppressed the fear in his heart, and jumped in the direction of Rock Shinobi's camp. Rock Shinobi frontline camp. Counting the time, the battle on the leeches should be almost done, right? We will be able to drink the celebration wine soon. Onoki was sitting on the main seat at this time, and he was studying how to fight Konaha with Dongsaren and others. After talking all morning, Onoki rubbed his waist and said with a smile. Well, there are leeches and big stones. As long as Konaha's people appear, they will definitely be killed. The faces of Dongsaren and Huogwang were also full of smiles. These days, Iwagakure has been frustrated frequently on the battlefield in order to booby and kill Chimu Uyu. Although you can't kill Saiga Uyu for now, it is a good thing to boost morale by first using Hitaki Kakashi's head to sacrifice the flag. Woo. Master Tsuchikage, the member of the intelligence team responsible for the supply line, is back. At this time, a rock shinobi Jonin suddenly walked into the big tent and said respectfully. Huh. A member of the intelligence class. Onoki frowned, wondering why it was not the leeches who came back in person. I'm afraid I came to announce the good news in advance. The devil leech guy hopes that Daing will be ready for work, right? He has such a personality. Dong Shuren said with a smile. Well, I want to come, but it was a big victory after all. We will go out together to meet our hero guy Spin. Onoki thought for a while and said with a big smile. Showing the head of Hitaki Kakashi in front of the rock shinobi is a good opportunity to boost morale. Soil, Master Tsuchikage. At this time, rock shinobi from the intelligence class rolled into the big tent. Huh? What's the matter? Even if it's a big victory, you have to pay attention to your behavior. Onoki scolded with a smile, thinking that the member of the intelligence class was too excited because of the long-lost victory. He was not angry about the gaffe of the intelligence class rock shinobi, and he smiled. Soil, Master Tsuchikage. The intelligence class's rock shinobi gasped violently, with terrible fear in his eyes, and his whole body was trembling. What's the matter? When Oyeki saw this man's expression, he felt a little in his heart. Chimu Uyu suddenly killed, the demon, the ambush forces led by Master Demon and Master Dashi, all annihilated. The member of the intelligence class, with trembling lips, said in fear. Boom. As if a shock of thunder exploded in Onoki's mind, he stared at the frightened rock shinobi in a daze. Dong Shi-ren and Huo Guang also had sluggish expressions, their faces full of disbelief. Okay. What about a big win? Diaresis what? Onoki's eyes were red. Tsuchikage-sama, this is it. Rock shinobi of the intelligence class took Onoki to the place where the leeches and others were buried, with strong fear in his eyes, pointing to the battlefield that had been slashed and ravaged. Leech, Dashi. Dongsaren leapt to the corpses of the devil and Dashi, his eyes were red. The devil and the lord were beheaded by Uyu Chimu. In the end, Master Dashi wanted to give everyone time to escape, but Chimu Uyu, it is too strong. Rock shinobi of the intelligence class reported the situation to Onoki in fear. Onoki's face was gloomy, and when he came to the scene, he unexpectedly found that the leeches and Dashi were lucky. At least, the body is still there. The rest of Rock Shinobi didn't even have any limbs left. According to the instructions of the intelligence team Rock Shinobi, they were all shattered to pieces under the terrorist slash of Chimu Uyu. One knife? Dong Shi-ren and Huo Guang turned their heads abruptly, with an unbelievable color in their eyes. Even in Iwagakure, are also well-known Jonin. Such two people were killed by a single knife? Tsuchikage-sama, Chimu Uyu asked me to bring you a word. At this time, the rock shinobi hesitated and said hesitantly. But the threat of that monster seemed to be echoing in his ears. That kind of terrifying perception ability, if you don't listen to him, That monster hunts itself on the battlefield deliberately. Where can you live? Bring something? Give it to me. Say it. Onoki's eyes flushed red, and he shouted. With trembling lips, the rock shinobi stammered and repeated Yuyu's words. Then, the audience was silent. I'm a waste. Also teach me how to manage the village. Let us people at Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi Village study hard. Onoki's face became ugly as he listened, and finally, his face flushed. These are all taboos of Onoki. Chimu little thief, the old man will kill you. Onoki's eyes were red, and he roared. The roar of anger remained on the battlefield for a long time. Yuyu's words completely angered Onoki and all rock shinobi. Onoki, as the longest-serving Tsuchikage, can be said to have brought Iwagakure to glory. In Iwagakure, Onoki's prestige is extremely high, even higher than Sarutobi Hiruzen's prestige in Konaha. Such a Tsuchikage, who is loved by everyone in Iwagakure, was scolded by the enemy and would not govern the village. Raising a bunch of fat waste, how can Onogi and rock shinobi not be angry? The mainstream of rock shinobi is to use earth style. Large-scale earth style consumes chakra extremely. If it wasn't Jinchuriki, even Jonin wouldn't be able to release a few large-scale ninjutsu. Therefore, Iwagakure's main combat strategy is to use earth style to strengthen the skin and bones, make the body as hard as a rock, and then fight the enemy. Fat will make rock shinobi have extremely strong physiques. After strengthening with earth style, this fat will become extremely hard rock. Compared with lean muscle, the volume of these fats converted into rocks is greater. Fat can also withstand more recoil, allowing rock shinobi to use rock formation for a longer period of time. This can be said to be the foundation of rock shinobi village. But they were so insulted, saying that they were a bunch of fat trash. It's tolerable, which one is unbearable? Besides, Cloud Shinobi Village, those muscle idiots, have always been at odds with Iwagakure. Since the establishment of Iwagakure, the bastards of Cloud Shinobi Village have no idea how many times they have invaded Iwagakure. No way, Earth style was restrained by Lightning style too badly, so Iwagakure suffered a lot from Cloud Shinobi Village's hands. Cloud Shinobi have always looked down upon their Iwagakure, especially Cloud Shinobi Village Shangwu. Everyone is working hard. During the battle with Cloud Shinobi, Rock Shinobi was often ridiculed by Cloud Shinobi. Said they are a bunch of papery fat people. This has made Rock Shinobi very resentful, but the skin strengthened with Earth style is very restrained in front of Lightning style. So even if Rock Shinobi were angry, they couldn't fight back. But after all, Earth style was defeated by Lightning style, Rock Shinobi still felt a bit of comfort. It's not their waste, it's Lightning style restraining Earth style. But now, that bastard named Chimu ruthlessly tore open their wounds. Tell them, even if there is no Lightning style, you people at Iwagakure are still a bunch of fat waste. Also let Iwagakure learn from Cloud Shinobi Village and exercise? This made the Rock Shinobi almost lose their sense of anger. Please war stickers, like snowflakes, appeared on Onoji's desk. Onoki, who was insulted to the point of irrational, was also ignored. Begin to fully mobilize Iwagakure's power and declare that he will fight Konaha to the death and kill Chimu. Listening to what the bastard said, saying that he was a waste, even though Onoki was angry, he would not lose his mind. Said that the rock shinobi that I cultivated are a bunch of fat wastes. Onoki's anger is plus 100. Said that he wants to teach himself to govern the village, and Onoki's anger is plus 1000. I want to learn from Cloud Shinobi Village, Oyeki. The anger exploded directly. What's so special? That brain is full of muscles, only knows the brave and fierce Raikage bastard. You actually said that he is better at ruling the village than himself? Chimu. I will kill you. Onoki was completely angry. Konaha, the frontline camp. Because of Iwagakure's big moves. The atmosphere here is very tense. Tsunade sits in the lead, frowning. She couldn't figure it out. Didn't she just kill some of your Jonins, so I'm going to fight Konaha desperately? Onogi and Tsunade also know something. After all, Konaha and Rock Shinobi fought against Rock Shinobi in the Second Ninja War. Isn't that kind of old fox so irrational? In those Rock Shinobi, are there really no special people? For example, the son of 3rd Tsuchikage Onoki? Tsunade looked at who was just as okay, and asked suspiciously. No, it's just a bunch of ordinary Rock Shinobi. Drank a glass of wine and waved his hand. That's weird. Tsunade frowned, and the Konaha staff were also very puzzled. Just die a few Jonin. Oyemu will not go crazy. The faces of the Jonin present were very exciting. They are all personnel who participated in that fierce battle. I have heard you let a rock shinobi bring to 3rd Tsuchikage. They seem to know why Iwagakure is so crazy. I just asked a rock shinobi bastard to bring a word to that guy Onoki. Yu poured himself a glass of Iwagakure's wine slowly, and said indifferently. Bring words? Tsunade's mouth twitched, and there was a bad feeling in his heart. Yu's mouth, she has learned. That's really irritating, and even the old man has been irritated by Yu. What words did you bring? Tsunade asked with red lips trembling. Just some very common words. Yu eloquently repeated the words of the day. The expressions of Tsunade and Konaha's staff were very wonderful. You call it ordinary? Your mouth is too poisonous, right? You are more than scolding the 18th generation of Onemu's ancestor. Quickly, send a message to the village, we need support. Tsunade's red lips trembled a little. Originally Tsunade thought that even if Onoki wanted to retaliate, he shouldn't launch a large-scale war. After all, Onoki has always been a guy who likes to profit from fishermen. After listening to Yu's words, don't say anything, Onoki and Iwagakure will definitely fight Konaha. Maybe even the tail beast will be sent to the battlefield. All this is because of what Yu said. Yes. Everyone in Konaha also trembled a little. Several extremely urgent messages were sent to Konaha village. Someone glanced at Yu secretly and smiled secretly. Lord Yu's words seemed to be even more terrifying than his strength. In a word, the thrilling 3rd Tsuchikage and Iwagakure went crazy. Konaha village, Hokage building. Haha. Sarutobi Hiruzen is sitting in the Hokage office, humming an unknown tune from Yu, in a good mood. These days, there are frequent good news from various battlefields. As for the Cloud Shinobi battlefield, after Jiraiya and Namikaze Minato reached the battlefield, under the command of Orochimaru, a defensive line was quickly established. Although Cloud Shinobi village tried to break through this defensive line many times, they failed to return. From the current point of view, in terms of high-end combat power, the combination of Orochimaru plus Jiraiya plus Namikaze Minato has suppressed the Cloud Shinobi village side, and began to sound the horn of counterattack. On the Rock Shinobi battlefield, there are frequent good news. Under Yu's accurate judgment, Konaha actually hit Iwagakure's supply line many times, with a remarkable record. With regard to Iwagakure, Konaha frequently gained an advantage due to insufficient supplies of war materials. I didn't expect that brat to be so flexible. What Sarutobi Hiruzen is reading at the moment is a proposal jointly submitted by the Konaha staff. The staff of the Konaha General Staff hope to incorporate Yu's strategy of attacking Tsunagakure last time into the textbook of Konaha Shinobi's classic warfare. This joint proposal was already placed on Sarutobi Hiruzen's desk when the war with Sand Shinobi came to an end. But for a long time, Sarutobi Hiruzen hasn't watched it at all. Are you kidding me? Yu's strength, Sarutobi Hiruzen is 100 recognition. But to incorporate Yu's strategy into the textbook? Do you think that the new generation of Konaha ninjas did not die fast enough? Look at what Yu did by himself. Alone in the Chunin exam raged. Smash into the hinterland of the country of wind alone. Killed in Tsunagakure alone. Yes, Yu's actions all the time have been alone. Such an action, did you tell me that Yu's strategy is strong? Are you kidding me? If it weren't for Yu's own strength and being replaced by someone else, any of these 3 events would have been hacked to death. But this time in the Rock Shinobi battlefield, Yu did not act alone, but sat behind and made an accurate judgment. Using tactics, Iwagakure suffered heavy losses. This shocked Sarutobi Hiruzen completely, and shocked Sarutobi Hiruzen more than Yu chopped 3rd Tsuchikage Onoki. Yu turned into a strategist, sitting in the back, talking and laughing, causing Iwagakure to suffer heavy losses? This allowed Sarutobi Hiruzen to immediately retrieve the joint proposal given to him by the Konaha staff. At this look, he was shocked. Are these strategies really that brat came up with? Sarutobi Hiruzen has some doubts about life. In itself, Yu's strength has made Sarutobi Hiruzen suspicious of life. As the 3rd Hokage, he was born into the ninja clan, the Sarutobi clan, and is the successor of the next generation of the Sarutobi clan. He was accepted as a disciple by 2nd Hokage and was trained as a Hokage candidate since childhood. It can be said that he is the proud son of heaven, who has attracted much attention. At the peak, there are many reputations such as Ninjao and Dr. Ninja. It can be said to be one of the strongest in the ninja world. But compared with Yu, These brilliances of my own are nothing short of shit. If you are at Yu's age, what will happen to you if you meet Yu of the same age? Will definitely be hacked to death with a single stab. Compared with Yu, Sarutobi Hiruzen feels that he has lived as a dog for his entire life. But what comforts Sarutobi Hiruzen is that Yu is inferior to himself in terms of strategy. God is indeed fair, opening a door called strength to Yu and closing a window called wisdom. But now Sarutobi Hiruzen discovered that Yu has both doors and windows, and they are better than him. This makes Sarutobi Hiruzen's mentality a little broken. That kid is a monster, not to compare with him. Sarutobi Hiruzen comforted himself like this. But although the mentality is a bit collapsed. But Sarutobi Hiruzen is still very pleased. After all, the kid Yu grew up by watching him. Now Yu is so good at such an age, Sarutobi Hiruzen has a sense of accomplishment that has shaped a work of art. What? You said you didn't teach Yu anything because he taught himself. Yu's name was made by himself, isn't this a contribution? Danzo, do you still want to be Naruto? Wait. Sarutobi Hiruzen thinks of Danzo's ugly face these days, and he feels extremely happy. Yu's current strength and strategy will surely be able to take on great responsibilities in the future. Although Yu doesn't necessarily want to be Hokage, there is no doubt that the existence of Yu has greatly increased the strength of the Hokage series. The next Naruto, Sarutobi Hiruzen can be 100% sure that someone from his own line will take office. The guy Danzo was beaten by Yu. These days, even the face is less visible, hiding in the root base and can't come out. Want to be Hokage? It's 100 years too early. Sarutobi Hiruzen hummed a little tune while thinking about the glorious future. Bang. Naruto-sama, an emergency report on the Rock Shinobi battlefield. Just when Sarutobi Hiruzen was in a good mood and was thinking about the future, a Konaha shinobi from the intelligence class ran into the Hokage office and said anxiously. Oh? Rock Shinobi battlefield. Yu, what new gains do they have? Hearing this, the smile on Sarutobi Hiruzen's face grew brighter. These days, his happiest time is when he reads the Rock Shinobi battlefield report. Every battle report makes Sarutobi Hiruzen feel that Konaha village is one step closer to victory in the war. Rock, Iwagakure. The Konaha shinobi of the intelligence class had trembling lips. Oh? What happened to Iwagakure? Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes brightened and he lit a cigarette, planning to listen to the good news and enjoy it. Iwagakure mobilized the power of the whole village and concentrated on the front line of Rock Shinobi. 3rd Tsuchikage Onoki issued a killing order, claiming that he would fight Konaha to the death and kill Lord Seiki Yu. Iwagakure is so excited that I want to fight hard with Master Yu Saiga. Master Tsunade asked Konaha to send reinforcements. Pop. The cigarette stick in Sarutobi Hiruzen's hand fell to the ground. He stared blankly at the ninja in Konaha's intelligence class. What? Konaha village, Hokage building, Hokage office. Sarutobi Hiruzen was holding the information sent from the Rock Shinobi battlefield, and his hands trembled. At the end, Sarutobi Hiruzen was not just his hands, his entire face, and his whole body trembled violently like a goat. You brat. Sarutobi Hiruzen let out a roar from the soul. Then looked weakly at the information in his hand, wishing to cry without tears. From heaven to hell, nothing more. Just now he was still thinking about Konaha's brilliant record, one step closer to victory in the war. As a result, there was a record. Yu beheaded 2 elites of Iwagakure, Jonin, and Jonin was several. It can be described as a remarkable record. However, Iwagakure wants to concentrate on the village, and is desperate for Konaha. Sarutobi Hiruzen held his forehead, feeling a little dizzy. Regarding why Iwagakure is going crazy with Konaha, Tsunade is very considerate to include an explanation at the end of the information. Yu, kill as soon as you kill, what words to bring? Sarutobi Hiruzen smoked his entire face. He knows that Yu's mouth is poisonous, and he suffers from it, and he has no temper at all that Yu often says. But now Sarutobi Hiruzen knows, that is Yu's mercy. Looking at the words Yu gave Onoki, he simply dumped his decades of hard work, and Iwagakure, which he cared most, directly into the cesspit. No wonder Onoki and Iwagakure are trying to fight Yu. Such an insult. If Onoki and Iwagakure do not respond, does Iwagakure still have the face to call themselves one of the 5 hidden villages? Does Onoki still have the face to sit in Tsuchikage's position? Therefore, the battle between Konaha and Iwagakure is inevitable. This war of attrition that should have lasted for several years, because a word of Uyu will immediately evolve into a decisive battle. Sarutobi Hiruzen is really big as a cow at the moment. That, Lord Naruto, here is a private letter from Lord Uyu to you. At this time, the Konaha shinobi of the intelligence class, looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen with a very ugly face, said cautiously. Come on. I think that stinky kid has a bit of conscience, knowing that it's causing trouble, apologize to me. Sarutobi Hiruzen feels better. When hearing the personal letter from Uyu, Sarutobi Hiruzen subconsciously thought that it was the letter of apology that Uyu recognized his mistake and wrote to himself. This gave Sarutobi Hiruzen a little comfort in his heart. Strictly speaking, Uyu didn't make any mistakes. The two people killed were called Demon Leech and Dashi, both of whom were well-known jonin from Iwagakure. Then let Iwagakure's intelligence personnel take the words back and blow the morale of the enemy. Such a process is very common. The mistake is, Uyu's mouth is too poisonous. It directly angered Onoki and Iwagakure, and tried to fight Konaha. But since this brat apologized, he didn't care about it. Sarutobi Hiruzen opened the letter while thinking. Then, Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent. Uyu. After Sarutobi Hiruzen read it, his entire face was extremely red, and his facial features were twisted together, showing signs of madness. This one is not a letter of apology at all. It's a questioning letter from Uyu. The above is Uyu's questioning to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Why are the bastards of Iwagakure different from what Sarutobi Hiruzen said? The fat all over, the big guys are all look good. The cut is extremely uncomfortable, let Sarutobi Hiruzen give an explanation. And Uyu asked him to take over the Cloud Shinobi battlefield and chop the muscles of Cloud Shinobi. Sarutobi Hiruzen wants to cry without tears. It turns out that the reason Uyu brought the message to Onoki was because of himself? Because he deceived Uyu, Uyu cut off the rock shinobi and found that the touch was not right, and then cursed Iwagakure and Onoki? I'm so cheap. Sarutobi Hiruzen regrets it. Why did you make this out in order to let Uyu go to the rock shinobi battlefield? Is this all right? Is the retribution coming? Are you going to fight Iwagakure in advance? You have to mobilize reinforcements quickly and head to the rock shinobi battlefield. Although crying without tears, Sarutobi Hiruzen responded quickly. Judging from Iwagakure's attitude, the war has been unavoidable. What Konaha can do is to mobilize troops quickly to block Iwagakure's attack. As for what Uyu said, if you want to go to the Cloud Shinobi battlefield? How could Sarutobi Hiruzen agree? Are you kidding me? Iwagakure is desperate this time. Maybe even the tail beasts have been mobilized to the frontal battlefield. If Uyu is gone, who will block Iwagakure's high-end combat power? To Uyu. So Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth twitched and wrote a letter to Uyu. In this letter, Sarutobi Hiruzen first apologized to Uyu because of his intelligence error and was deceived by the appearance of rock shinobi. After that, it was said that all the good things were said in tears. Even at the end, he promised Uyu some rare wine. As for why you say that? What if Uyu really runs to the Cloud Shinobi battlefield? Let's not talk about the Rock Shinobi battlefield. What if Uyu runs to the Cloud Shinobi battlefield and is really happy and hits the door of Cloud Shinobi village? This kind of thing will never be tolerated by the Rashers of Cloud Shinobi village, and they will definitely fight Konaha. If it develops like this, Konaha has to face the full attack of the two hidden villages, then the trouble will be big. Send this letter to the Rock Shinobi battlefield. Remember, no one is allowed to read it except Uyu, including Tsunade. After finishing writing, he said solemnly to the person in the intelligence class. Such a letter that harmed his Naruto's majesty, of course, could not be shown to others. Yes, Master Naruto. The ninja of the intelligence class, looking at the weird face of Sarutobi Hiruzen, carefully took the envelope. Hey. After the ninja from the intelligence class left, Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed deeply. Why did it become like this? Jiraiya. In the end, Sarutobi Hiruzen gritted his teeth and growled. At the beginning, it was my own bastard disciple. When Uyu asked him about Rock Shinobi's physique, he didn't correct his mistakes. It's all special, Jiraiya. Konaha, the front-line camp of Rock Shinobi battlefield. The old man responded, this is for you. Tsunade held a letter with a strange face, and handed it to Uyu. This time there are two news from Konaha village. One is that the reinforcements of Konaha village have been assembled and are rushing to the Rock Shinobi battlefield. The other one was given to Uyu privately by the old man. This letter also specifically stated that only Yu would be allowed to read it alone, not even by himself. Let me see. Yu snorted and opened the letter. It's pretty good. After reading it, Yu nodded, with a slight smile on his face. Especially when you saw the promise of the old man to give yourself some rare wine, the corners of Yu's mouth could not stop rising. Want to take over the Cloud Shinobi battlefield? Naturally Yu said so deliberately. Tsunade, but here, he left by himself. Do you want Tsunade to face Iwagakure's attack alone? Yu said this, of course, for extortion. After all, the old man lied to himself, causing his plan to obtain a large number of physical attribute points to fail. In this case, it must have caused the old man to bleed once. Moreover, those bastards of Iwagakure caused myself to look forward to it for so long, but they turned out to be all pretty. Yu has to settle this account with Iwagakure. As for Cloud Shinobi Village, not in a hurry. After I have cleaned up Iwagakure, I will kill those bastards again. What's written on it? Tsunade was curious, and the old man explicitly forbidden her to watch. The more so, the more curiosity it can arouse. Do you want to see it? Yu looked at Tsunade. Tsunade nodded, curiosity on her pretty face. Suddenly, Tsunade exclaimed that she was attacked in front of her. This is payment, take it. Tsunade put his hands in front of him, his pretty face flushed, and he gave Yu a smug look. Vengeful guy. Tsunade murmured, knowing that Yu still remembered that night. Isn't that right? I'm stronger than you, so I'm against the object of the Lord? Strictly speaking, you still have the advantage, right? Tsunade muttered in his heart for a moment, and read the letter curiously. Old man, I'm also fighting. After reading it, Tsunade's expression is very exciting. This simply subverted her impression of the old man. Look at what this letter says, it's crying. Tsunade looked at Yu with emotion. It is indeed the man she is fond of, who has nothing to do with the old man. Then you still go to the Cloud Shinobi battlefield? Tsunade asked curiously. When did I say that I was going? That was just an extortion of the old man. Yu waved his hand and said, Old man, it's pitiful. Tsunade's red lips moved and said a little funny. When you met Yu, the old man was really bloody. It's really being pinched to death. Don't talk about it, Iwagakure, the forces are almost assembled. This time, Iwagakure is really going to fight us hard, and even Jinchuriki may be dragged onto the battlefield by Iwagakure. Onoki and all rock shinobi hate you. Tsunade's pretty face is dignified, Iwagakure's Jinchuriki is different from Konaha's. Both of them are said to be able to skillfully use the power of the tail beast. Coupled with Iwagakure's third Tsuchikage Onoki, this is the terrifying power of the 3 cage levels. On Konaha's side, cage level combat power is only Tsunade himself and Yu. Moreover, Tsunade knew that he wasted a lot of days because of his phobia, and even if he unlocked the 100 healings mark, he would definitely not be Oyumu's opponent. So the main force in this battle is Yu. Don't worry, that bastard Oyemu, and any other shittails, give it to me. Oyemu, I'm going to cut this old bastard. Yu gritted his teeth when thinking of the name Onoki. It was this bastard who indulged Iwagakure's ninja to fatten up and let himself look forward to it for so long in vain. Tsunade is a little helpless. Why are you even more angry than Onoki? Obviously, are you taking advantage? Rock Shinobi frontline camp. Master Tsuchikage, all the reinforcements have arrived. Dongsaren's face was dignified, and he looked at Onoki and said solemnly. Very good. Onoki sat on the main seat and looked around for a week. Seeing so many Jonin sitting together, I was so proud. This is the Iwagakure he brought out. Since the death of second Tsuchikage, he has been conscientious and dedicated to Iwagakure. As a result, he was so insulted by Chimu Yu, that smelly kid. The blood must be used to wash away the shame of him and Iwagakure. Father, that guy named Chimu Yu, leave it to me. I will kill that bastard personally, and justify you, Iwagakure, and my father. Even Onoki's son, the lowest behind the battlefield, was transferred to the battlefield. This fully shows that Iwagakure really has concentrated all its strengths and wants to split the life and death with Konaha village. You have this heart, I am very happy. Onoki looked at his son's sturdy figure and smiled. But suddenly thinking of something, the corner of his mouth twitched. Chimu Yu, I will kill you. Onoki was angry, and after seeing his son's figure, he remembered the bastard's evaluation of their Iwagakure in his mind. Lao Zi, Han, Chimu Yu, leave it to you two to solve it. Onoki looked at the two rock shinobi sitting aside, and said solemnly. Yes, Master Tsuchikage. So insulting Iwagakure, I will burn him into slag. 5 Tails Jinchuriki Han. 4 Tails Jinchuriki Old Purple, with sharp eyes. 5 Tails Jinchuriki Han has always worked hard for Iwagakure and made countless achievements. And 4 Tails Jinchuriki Lao Zi, although not in line with the concept of Tsuchikage's Onoki, it is just not in line with the concept. He still loves Iwagakure. Sai Mu Yu insulted their Iwagakure so much, it can be said that he touched their inverse scales. This time, the two of them have already made up their minds to kill Chimu Yu. Good. Oyemu was determined in his heart. 2 Jinchuriki, the kid named Chimu Yu, must die. So far, Iwagakure has concentrated tens of thousands of troops, and 4 Tails and 5 Tails Jinchuriki are all concentrated on the frontline battlefield. The battle with Konaha village is about to kick off. Iwagakure concentrated all its main force behind the frontline battlefield. Onoki and Iwagakure's think tank began to develop a battle plan. After all, it was a battle that concentrated almost all of Iwagakure's power, and the enemy was Konaha, the largest ninja village in the ninja world. Although Konaha had no way to concentrate all his forces and fight against his own side because of multi-line combat. But Onoki didn't care about it at all. Although on the surface, in the current combat power ratio, Iwagakure owns it. But don't forget, Konaha's 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and 9 Tails Jinchuriki, but they have not yet set foot on the battlefield. To start a full-scale war with Konaha, it is necessary to make Sarutobi Hiruzen and 9 Tails Jinchuriki, the terrifying war weapon, the possibility of stepping on the battlefield. 9 Tails is a special tail beast, its power is even comparable to the sum of head and tail beasts. With such a terrible war weapon, Oyeki must plan in detail. However, it is precisely because the strength of 9 Tails is too terrifying, so Konaha has not been able to control 9 Tails well so far. So even though Onoki was afraid, he was not worried. Konaha dare not use 9 Tails at will. This is the consensus of the ninja world. At the end of the war, Iwagakure needs to be more vigilant, the old guy 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. When Onoki and Iwagakure were working on a battle plan, the Iwagakure in the rear was also running at high speed. For a war of this scale, the war resources that need to be consumed are extremely huge. Shuriken, kunai, detonation talisman. Countless war weapons have been sent continuously to the rock shinobi battlefield. Iwagakure's actions on such a large scale caused a sensation in the entire ninja world. Onoki, as the longest-serving Tsuchikage, has a character well known by the ninja world. What he likes most is to reap the benefits of fishermen. Iwagakure is not a shinobu village dominated by military expansion. In ninja's impression, Cloud Shinobi Village is the village that is impulsive and violent, and will fight the enemy if it doesn't agree. But this time, Iwagakure's actions were even more violent than Cloud Shinobi Village, which immediately aroused the curiosity of the ninja world. Soon, about Konaha's super genius, Chimu Yu's words to Ono Katai were announced by someone with a heart. Ninja world suddenly realized, and then secretly surprised. Unexpectedly, that Konaha's super genius is not only terrible in strength and talent, but also not weak in his mouth. It's too poisonous. No wonder Onoki and Iwagakure are fighting Konaha hard. If you change to them, you have to work hard. If this is not to kill Chimu Yu, then Iwagakure and Onoki will really face shame. In the ninja world, the face can be said to be the guy who eats in the big ninja villages. Because Ninja Village, although it is said that the large council to which it belongs, supplies part of the food, in the final analysis, it still depends on completing tasks to obtain resources. Without a mission, what do the ninjas and villagers in the village eat? Once the face is sweeping and you are riding on the head of another ninja village, which country will give you this ninja village a mission? The quests issued by the Land of the Earth alone cannot meet the resources Iwagakure needs. Moreover, the food provided to Iwagakure every year by the Land of the Land is also required by the specified tasks. The extra resources are more earned from some small countries. After all, most small countries do not have their own ninja village, and even if they do, they are very weak. Therefore, most small countries need to issue missions to the 5 hidden villages. This is also the reason why the major ninja villages hold the Chunin exam publicly. Just to get more tasks. Like this time, if Iwagakure doesn't respond, other countries will see that a teenager from Konaha will dare to shit on your head. How rubbish is your ninja in Iwagakure? It's better to find Konaha to complete the task. Therefore, Iwagakure must kill Chimu Uyu to restore his face. Just when Iwagakure and Konaha village were at war. Cloud Shinobi village frontline camp. Haha, that kid named Chimu Uyu is very discerning. Third Raikage, who was full of tendons, sat in the main position, and laughed loudly. After learning about Uyu Saiga, Third Raikage almost didn't laugh. Iwagakure, because it is adjacent to Cloud Shinobi village, and Earth style is restrained by their Cloud Shinobi lightning style. Therefore, Third Raikage, who advocates military expansion, has been planning Iwagakure all the time. During the war, naturally there was a deeper and deeper hatred between the two villages. For Onoki's old silver coin, Third Raikage, which advocates fist to solve everything, is the most insignificant. On the other hand, Onoki was also ridiculing Third Raikage. He obviously had the ability to completely restrain Iwagakure, but he was frequently frustrated in the country. Just a simple-minded man. This makes Third Raikage always hold a grudge. But it's no wonder Onoki said that Cloud Shinobi village has a huge advantage at the beginning of every war. It can even break through the border defense line of Iwagakure and drive straight ahead. Then, there is no more. The people of Cloud Shinobi village don't play any tricks at all, and the harder the bones are, the more excited they are. Every time, Iwagakure will use Earth style to set up an ambush in the land of the Earth, combined with the topography of the Rocky Mountains in the land of the Earth. And the people of Cloud Shinobi village, under the command of Third Raikage, do not matter whether you have traps or not, they just rush. The result? Since was taught to be a man by the collapsed rock. In almost every war, Cloud Shinobi village was eventually driven out of the land by Iwagakure using traps. This also made Third Raikage extremely unconvinced, and hated Onoki to the extreme. Now, some people even say that Onoki will learn from them Cloud Shinobi village, and it has spread throughout the ninja world. This makes Third Raikage feel good. Diaresis Lord Raikage, Onogi, this time he really did his best. A Cloud Shinobi Jonin complimented. Haha, good. Give me a banquet and celebrate. Third Raikage laughed and said. As for the war with Konaha, is now a good opportunity to attack? Wait a minute. Wait until the celebration is over. Their Cloud Shinobi village is so reckless, completely different from the bastard of Iwagakure. Just when Iwagakure was operating at high speed, preparing for a decisive battle with Konaha village. Konaha frontline daying. Minato. Why are you here? Aren't you on the Cloud Shinobi battlefield? Yuyu looked surprised at the figure that appeared. Master Third Hokage asked me to come. Minato smiled gently, then looked at Tsunade who was sitting on the main seat. Master Tsunade. Well, if you come, we will be more confident. Tsunade's eyes also had joy. These days, Minato can be said to be famous in the Cloud Shinobi battlefield. With the Flying Thunder God technique, Konaha's name is Yellow Flash. In addition, Minato is Jiraiya's disciple, and he goes out with Tsunade. I also learned the Flying Thunder God technique invented by Tsunade's second grandfather, Senju Tobarama, which made this ninjutsu famous in the world of ninjutsu. Also let second Hokage, Senju Tobarama's name, resound through the ninja world. So Tsunade's sense of Minato is quite good. The most important thing is that in the Sand Shinobi battlefield, Minato went to Sanagakure alone to support Uyu despite the danger. Although it didn't help much in the end, it was not easy to have this courage. The white-haired bastard Jiraiya, do you want you to bring me anything? At this moment, Uyu looked at Minato and asked. The old division didn't say anything, but since he was about to transfer me to the Rock Shinobi battlefield, he is a bit wrong these days. By the way, the teacher cares about you very much, and he specifically asked me what game I gave you last time, which made you like it so much. Minato's face is a little weird. Since Third Hokage's transfer order, his teacher Jiraiya has become very strange. It seems to have a heavy heart. Before I set off, I asked myself specifically what the game that Uyu was praised for last time. Minato has always been weird, but now looking at Yuyu's expression, he seems to understand a little bit. That white-haired bastard, wait for me, Yuyu snorted coldly. The bastard Jiraiya and the old man had joined forces to trick himself into the Rock Shinobi battlefield. When the guys from Rock Shinobi are cut off, I have to settle the bill with Jiraiya. By the way, Minato, are those bastards in Cloud Shinobi village very physically fit? Yuyu suddenly thought of something and asked. Their physical fitness is indeed higher than that of Konoha's ninjas. Every Cloud Shinobi has physical skills that should not be underestimated. When Minato heard Yuyu's words, he thought of the news spread in the Shinobi world, and said with a wry smile. Now almost the entire ninja world knows that the main reason that triggered this big battle is that sentence of Uyu. Jiraiya, you are dead. After confirming, Uyu snorted and narrowed his eyes. Minato looked at Uyu's expression, and suddenly felt as if he had pitied the teacher. Okay, Uyu, I'll help you beat Jiraiya together. Now I have to plan how to face Iwagakure's attack. Tsunade looked at Uyu's expression, her pretty face gradually became serious. Now there is definite intelligence evidence that the two Jinchuriki owned by Iwagakure, 4 Tails Jinchuriki and 5 Tails Jinchuriki, have all reached the frontline battlefield. Tsunade's pretty face was cold. Every tail beast is a terrible weapon of war. Without him, the chakra of tail beast is too terrifying. As Jinchuriki, he can also use the chakra of the tailed beast. A general cage level, even a top cage level expert like her teacher, Sarutobi Hiruzen, cannot use ninjutsu to attack unscrupulously. That way, chakra is not enough. But Jinchuriki is different. The huge chakra can use a wide range of ninjutsu many times. The destructive power on the battlefield is too strong. If they were allowed to act recklessly on the battlefield, Konoha's ordinary ninja would surely suffer heavy losses. So the first thing is to try to prevent Jinchuriki from appearing on the frontal battlefield. But Jinchuriki, even one-on-one, is absolutely cage-level combat power. As the commander-in-chief of the front line, Tsunade needs to sit in front of the Konoha army to command and communicate orders. Until the life and death stage of the war, one will not act without authorization. After all, if Tsunade, as the commander-in-chief, loses, Konoha's military will suddenly collapse. The same is true for Onoki. So Jinchuriki needs to be solved by Uyu and Minato who just arrived. The key now is how to separate Jinchuriki from Rock Shinobi's army. Tsunade and Narakajiu, who is the general staff, frowned at the same time. Isn't their target me? Mark me the location of a few Iwagakure camps, and I will destroy them. Uyu took a sip of wine and waved his hand. He hasn't hacked Jinchuriki yet, and he doesn't know what kind of reward he can get. This is too dangerous. When Tsunade heard that Uyu was going to act alone, he said in a hurry. The last time Uyu acted alone, she almost scared her to death. Now Uyu is going to use himself as bait. I will do whatever I want. When Uyu heard that Tsunade was about to provoke his family status, he suddenly became unhappy, patted the table and said. But this is too dangerous. Tsunade still disagreed, and started a debate with Uyu. Then do you have a good way? Uyu looked at Tsunade and said. Tsunade was silent. In fact, she didn't know that the method Uyu proposed was the best choice in the current situation. But Tsunade, who cares about Uyu, how can Uyu do such a dangerous thing? If there is a chance. Tsunade's eye circles are a little red. Don't worry, Iwagakure's bastard. By the way, Lu Ju, mark me a few Iwagakure camps. Remember, I need to store a lot of alcohol. Uyu said enthusiastically. Everyone, including Tsunade, has a black line on his face. In such a heavy atmosphere, are you still thinking about wine? Yes, but you have to promise me one condition. Knowing that no one can change the decision Uyu made, Tsunade sniffed and said. There are conditions? Okay, you can say it, just this time. Uyu was about to express his dissatisfaction, but when he saw Tsunade's beautiful eyes with a little mist, his heart softened and said. Well, that's a location on the Rock Shinobi battlefield. I said, don't you know to refuse? Uyu looked at Minato beside him with a look of dissatisfaction. The condition proposed by Tsunade is that Minato and Uyu should go together. After all, Minato can Flying Thunder God technique, and with Minato, the safety factor will be doubled. The most important thing is that Tsunade is afraid that Uyu drank too much again. What if you run away again? Minato smiled bitterly when he heard Uyu's words. He faces Tsunade-sama. What else? Do you have the right to speak? Master Tsunade. Who is that? That's someone that even his teacher and Jiraiya can't afford to provoke. By the way, Uyu can't afford it himself. Here, he is simply just a younger brother. So what can Minato do in response to Uyu's question? Can only respond with a wry smile. Forget it. I won't care about you this time, but you still owe me 100 game, remember. Uyu has a good sense of Minato. The most important thing is that Minato's game technology is superb. The game from last time still gives Uyu an endless aftertaste. Along the way, you might encounter some rare game, and it would be a good thing to ask Minato to call him back. I know. Let's finish the task now. Minato smiled bitterly when he heard Yuyu's words. He is still a little confused about how these 100 meals of game came from. According to Yuyu's words, it was his teacher, Jiraiya provoked Uyu, so he owed Uyu a lot of money. The master's account is also shared by the disciples. Taking into account his poor jingle, he used game to repay the debt. Although it felt something was wrong, Minato was so dizzy that Uyu said it, and inexplicably agreed. Well, look at the map, where is our first goal? Yuyu nodded with satisfaction when seeing Minato's acknowledgement, and then asked. I'll be there soon, it should be 3 kilometers ahead. Minato pointed to the front and said. Assholes of Iwagakure, I want to teach you well. Yuyu snorted coldly and made up his mind to give this group of Iwagakure guys a profound teaching. Woo. That's it. At the speed of Minato and Uyu, 3 kilometers away, they arrived in a moment. Minato pulled Uyu in a shadow, pointed at the Iwagakure camp ahead, and said. Let's sneak in carefully first, and then use the detonation talisman. Minato spoke eloquently about his strategy. Minato's strength, of course, needless to say, he has the Flying Thunder God technique, he has played a great reputation in the Cloud Shinobi battlefield. But Minato also has its shortcomings, that is, the lethality of other ninjutsu is not strong. Therefore, when Minato performs this kind of mission similar to destroying the camp, they all use the detonation talisman to complete it. With his Flying Thunder God technique ability, he can bury the detonating charms in various places without knowing it, and then detonate them at the same time. Uyu. Why are you going? But not halfway through, Minato was embarrassed to find that Uyu didn't listen to him at all, but walked out of the shadows. He also threw the knife to himself. You look after my knife in the back. Yuyu squeezed his fist, shook his neck, and a sound like fried beans kept resounding. In this kind of camp, it would be nice to have a few jonin, and they don't have many attribute points if they are cut off. So Uyu. Give Iwagakure a lively teaching, let them know the importance of exercising. Can we win the war with Konaha? At this time, in this Iwagakure camp, rock shinobi gathered together and talked a lot. A rock shinobi said with a sad face. After all, Konaha is the largest ninja village, and Iwagakure once lost to Konaha in the second ninja battle. What are you talking about? We, Iwagakure, will definitely be able to win this war. Old Z and Han have both come to the front line, there must be no problem. When a rock shinobi heard such a frustrating remark from his companion, he immediately said angrily. Yes, there are Old Z and Han, and Tsuchikage, Konaha will definitely be defeated by us. Especially the Chimu Uyu who insulted our Iwagakure. I guess he will be burned into slag by the old man. Huh. I think Uyu Chimu will be steamed by Han adults. Rock shinobi had a lively discussion. Huh? What is that? Suddenly, a rock shinobi pointed to the distance, his eyes narrowed. Yes, a figure? Is it our people from Iwagakure? The crowd of rock shinobi hurriedly looked at it and found that it was a figure, frowning. Woo. At this moment, the figure suddenly turned into an afterimage and rushed towards the gate of the village. No. It's the enemy. The rock shinobi were shocked. Armed. Chang. Yuyu stepped forward and came to the gate of the village with his right hand in the shape of a fist. The jet black armament hockey quickly wrapped Yuyu's right fist, exuding a color like steel. Broken. Yuyu looked at the Zaiman with a cold light in his eyes, and then hit the Zaiman with a fierce punch. Boom. Before the rock shinobi could react, they heard a thunderous noise, and then the whole camp began to shake violently. After a while, the smoke dissipated, and rock shinobi watched with stunned eyes. The extremely strong and rock-like gate built with earth style had broken a huge hole. A figure was standing there quietly. Enemy attack. The roar continued to resound in the camp of Iwagakure. Swish. 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 The rock shinobi in the camp, after hearing the warning, quickly assembled here, staring at the invading figure vigilantly. Who are you? The commander of this camp, a jonin of rock shinobi, shouted in a deep voice. Aren't you looking for me? Yuyu stepped up to not far from the rock shinobi and shook his neck. Chimu, Uyu. After seeing Yuyu's face clearly, the jonin of rock shinobi suddenly exclaimed. As Iwagakure's mortal target, Yuyu's portrait has already spread throughout Iwagakure. How can this monster appear here? The jonin of rock shinobi started to shake his legs. The rock shinobi present also showed fear on their faces. Although they hate Chimu Uyu, they are not stupid. This is a monster that can kill Lord Leech and Lord Dashi. Where are they opponents of this monster? Wait. This monster didn't take a knife. Suddenly, a sharp-eyed rock shinobi said. The scene suddenly became quiet.